Okay, guys, welcome everyone that's just joined us for the episode 44 of the Addicted podcast. We're going to be doing a special. I'm going to bring the other guys in 2 seconds. So, yeah, here we go. Begin the show.
Hello.
How is everyone? Can everyone hear everyone? Please tell me everyone can hear everyone.
I'm good.
I can't even hear myself.
What's up, guys?
Oh, dear God.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Wow. Well, how exciting the last week has been.
Things have happened.
Since last week, where it was just like we're all just pretty tired. It's been a long road, you know, a year of stuff. To then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, oh yeah. It's as if like it all doesn't matter. It's like it's just so much cool shit's gone on. It's just unbelievable. In between all of the CitizenCon, we even had an AtV, just throwing it out there. If anyone watched it, so I think everybody was just so busy with CitizenCon. I think it was like AtV, and then it was like AtV what? Oh, there was an AtV, was there?
Yeah, I've like was it part 2 to the Armor series or something? I wouldn't surprise me if they had kind of pre-recorded that. And I apologise in advance that my voice is not great. I lost it at CitizenCon, and it's
your voice is normally not great either.
All that talking. Oh, mate. It must have been okay then. So we'll do a quick round though, just to see what everyone's been up to. We kind of know what Miz has been up to, and we can't. So we'll do a quick round up, see what everyone's up to. We'll leave Miz till last. We can kind of lead off of you, Miz, into
leave me till last, and then it'll be to the end of the show.
Yeah, literally. That was what I was going to say. That's pretty much what it's going to be. So, Sol, how about you, my friend? What have you been up to?
I'm busy with all the graphic design stuff, making the website today. I've learned PHP today. And we do not condone alcohol on this podcast, but I'm devouring a 63% overproof rum tonight, so we're going to have a good time. Destiny 2 with you.
Yes.
We've been playing a lot of Destiny.
We have.
Reset tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., so I'm probably going to drink till I drop and then sleep till tomorrow, 10 a.m., and then wake up and play Destiny.
This happened.
And the stream, I set up the stream completely now, so the whole bot is set up for the creative streams that will be coming. So it's going to be good times. As soon as the website is up, the creative streams will start, and that's the priority that I got.
You had the
you expecting that up?
This bad boy happened
Tomorrow, hopefully.
Cool.
Didn't this happen, Sol, just the other day, or was it today?
Oh yeah. Oh, it was yesterday, right? That's when we were setting up the bot. Are you going to play it on stream?
No, I just link it in stream so people can enjoy it. So basically what happened was we was watching AtV, and I said the dude looked like Penfold, and I thought I made him laugh. But
you can play it on stream. Why not just play it, man? Who gives a fuck?
You sure?
Yeah.
Bring it up.
It's the first time that people have seen me spray Coca-Cola through my nose.
To be fair, it's not as bad as the GAM bubble that's been going around.
No,
So
the GAM bubble was worse, yeah.
We're going to load that back.
We're going to load back the GAM bubble.
We're going to load that in a second, but it was quite fun, though. So I thought this guy, if you put glasses on this dude here, he would literally look like Penfold from Danger Mouse. So, yeah, anyway. So Sol's gone.
Because the areas are used by the AI code, but areas are more general systems. And before
Can't see him, he's tucked away in the corner.
Oh, can't see him. Hang on.
This area.
He's dying in the corner here. It's the were you trying to suck breath in? We've all been there. We've all struggled. We've all struggled with that one.
Time.
It was funny. It was very funny.
The biggest problem was the Coca-Cola coming out of the nose, I think.
It's good to see us again.
Rip Sol, not exactly.
Definitely RIP. But we had fun that evening, and I'm glad I got everything set up the way I wanted it.
I mean, you've been with that for a while. We're not going to talk too much about other computer games, but I mean, for anyone out there that's never played Destiny 2, Sol's never played Destiny 2. He was a bit of a shady, like wasn't sure about it, wasn't convinced about it, and you haven't put it down for like days and days. So, and you've been loving it.
I have to be honest, and obviously you know why, because but Sunday and today I haven't touched it yet. I think I logged in yesterday evening just to
Yeah. Well, you've been
check
smashing
out,
it.
but
You've been smashing it.
I love it. I love it. And I'm happier if you need to set priorities, and I think the website comes first, and then comes the gaming. So
Yeah.
I just had to put it aside for a moment. Otherwise, I would have probably still been playing because it's such an amazing game.
Yeah.
Such an amazing game.
Good stuff. Myself, I've been doing similar things to Soul, really. So I've been playing Destiny 2. I've been doing a bit of streaming. Obviously, Star Citizen. We did a big giveaway on Friday. Big stream obviously for CitizenCon, which I did with Soul. Joined me, which was really great. So we had some great.
So I couldn't enter.
We had some great winners. Yeah, you were busy with Mac and Campbell getting nose waxed.
Who is that? Who's Mac, by the way? I haven't heard of this guy.
Yes. Well, you don't recognize him anymore, do we? We'll bring up some pictures of Mac.
I was saying to Miz earlier, he looks a bit like you can find him in Dagenham now, wearing his sweatpants and one of these Gucci hip bags. You know what I mean? And he's like walking around there with his cap on and
babyface Mac.
Babyface Mac being all gangster. You know what I mean? Standing next to the supermarket, smoking these little puffy puffies.
So we had some good prize. I mean, we had good prizes, lots of gift cards. I kind of wanted to give people cash, really. So we had I think I had two $25 and six $10. Was it four? Yeah, it was 4 25s or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, tons of stuff, and then
420.
Yeah, and then we had. What else?
Listen, I haven't seen Madness give away a lot of stuff, but I think he had a hole in his pocket on Friday, man.
We had $200 to give away, so I split
basically
I like to have, I like lots of people to have win. I don't really want to have just one big prize. Like a lot of people do just big prizes, like one big cutlass and stuff, and that's fine. But I was like, I'd rather give small and just have lots of people winning on the stream and. So yeah, we had a
great fucking time.
Lots of giveaways, hanger flare, and then a guy came in. He was desperately trying to get the 1,000 follower mark, which I was trying my best to stop happening.
I unfollowed.
Literally, I was desperately trying not to get to 1,000 because I had no idea. It's I didn't realize I was so close, and then it was literally creeping up. And I was just getting, oh fuck, this is getting too close. I've already given away tons of stuff, and then now suddenly need to do something special. So I had a kind of a quick rummage around, and then suddenly it went 99. And then this poor guy, I think he was trying to get 1,000, so we gave him a hanger flare, and then somebody dropped in for 1,000, and so I've custom. So we've been chatting with him, this person off stream, plus another sub. So I did sub t-shirts, but I'm going to bring up the t-shirt. So we've done this t-shirt for him. If you follow me on Twitch, you'll have already seen it. But so he's going to get this t-shirt. So he wanted, so he's got obviously the Madness grin on it. We put a Twitch logo. We've got Madness logos on it, VIP on it. He wanted GG on the back. And so I wanted to give him the 1,000, so we've chucked in.
Is this Nexian or is this?
No, not Nexus. Nexus I won't put on because it's a subscriber one, so we'll keep that one special. But this is just for the 1,000 followers and stuff. So this T-shirt I will be doing a similar variation for everyone.
1,000K would be awesome.
1,000K, yeah, for sure. So yeah, so this T-shirt. So this is the prize. So do you know what the brilliant thing was? Is that the person that won it just happens to be on the most remotest island on the other side of the fucking world. So trying to make it, get it sent to him has been a right problem. Yeah, literally. So but it's going to happen. I've already found a few places to do it, so I'm just going to get pricing and then get it sent to him. So there you go. So that was cool. That was a nice prize. The t-shirt actually turned out looking really quite cool, so very, very happy with that, and I think he'll be happy hopefully if it turns out looking like that. So yeah, really great. It was a really great Friday. CitizenCon was amazing. Unfortunately, I couldn't stream the whole event from start to finish because it was my wife and I's anniversary, so I had to obviously do that. But I did manage to catch the last 10 minutes, and then I've spent the whole weekend watching. I mean, we've all done. I think everybody under the blue sun has been streaming video footage of it and standing in front of more video footage.
Surely you didn't do that, Madness. Surely not.
No, I didn't. I'm only doing it now on the podcast. So
just to add, very good. So how long has the wife held up with you so far?
I think the papers are on the way.
No, how long has the wife how long
have we been together?
Yeah.
About 11 years, I think.
Fuck me. 11 years with you.
Yeah, about 11 years.
I'm sick of you, and we've known each other a year, man. Standing on 11.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
By the way, Madness is open to donations because the $200 left his family with eating dry bread for the upcoming week. So if you want to donate, you know where that donate button is.
No, don't worry about
I'm
it.
just
Guys.
joking.
It's
I'm
all
just
covered.
joking, guys.
It's all covered. I what I do is I take all the money that people donate and all the subs and stuff that people give me, and I save them all up, and then we do these special giveaways now and again. My stream is not about giveaways, okay? My stream is about trying to do some content and have a bit of fun. And that's
Hey,
the way I run.
Rough Galaxy, there's more than just a little
I'm
bit
not
here
part
in
of
the cast. Not,
What's
not
up,
only
boys?
bit in chat. Not only bit in chat. This is
Yo.
Miserable G
Bit
next
in
to
chat.
me.
What's up, boys?
And my
Oh.
name is Solda Create.
The other thing that did
They're part
happen.
of this as well.
I think this works. Hang on. Does this work? Does this work? Yeah, it got approved. So my my socket.
Well, I can't see it.
You can't really see it because it's a bit dark. Unfortunately, this is annoying.
No. I can't see. I can't see your bot is not a subscriber, so he can't make
I
the
see it.
emote.
Suck
Why
it.
can't I see it then?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Refresh
So
your
anyway,
Better
so
Twitch
the
TV or
the
something.
BT TV Better TV is probably not working for you. So if you got better,
You're on Better TV. I thought you had them on. No, I don't have Better TV.
I don't have
to
enough
run.
subscribers to be. I don't know how many subscribers you need to get a second.
I
emote.
got you. I
lot.
got you.
No,
I
you
think
don't
it's
need a
called-
lot. You just need. It's not even that. It's a second tier. You don't. You can only have one.
Oh, so you need someone to get to a second tier subscriber, and then you can have another remote for it. Is that right?
No, they need. If someone subs to you at second tier, they have your second emote. That's the only way to have a second emote.
Oh,
You've got both your emotes.
So I actually
if
have.
you
I
make
can
the
actually
account.
have two.
You can make
You
three.
can have two. Yeah.
You
You're
can
the only
make
one that can use it.
Fuck, I haven't even done it yet. So there you go, boys. I need to create another one. Then we'll do we're doing a special one. I didn't realize I could. But no, unlucky Major. Good lucky. Already switched it off, boy. Look at. I knew you were going to come in and try and come straight in with it, but it didn't work, buddy. Did it? Job
Bad.
So, is it all these people thinking I've forgotten to switch off my sounds? Suck it. Anyway, what was I going to say? So yeah, so it's been really good, really fun, and CitizenCon was great. So that was my end. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed catching up. Miz, how about yourself, mate? Because I think you've had the pretty epic weekend, really. You sound like you do. Your voice does, anyway.
Yeah. flew to Germany, met some people, and then came back again. Really. That was it.
That was it. Okay,
not
fair
much to say.
Not much happened in between.
Yeah, it was awesome, to be honest. It was really good. And to be honest, the highlight was probably the bar citizens and meeting everybody more than the CitizenCon itself. Although even the CitizenCon itself was probably the best. I mean, I haven't been to any of the others, but from what we've seen, where they've just been more of just a presentation at the end, being able to have, there was like 3 or 4 different rooms with different activities going on and things like that. So it was definitely a lot better than the past ones, as from what I could tell. Having the presentation spread through the day and then having maybe not quite such a long one at the end was quite nice as well. So I missed a couple of the panels because I was too busy chatting to people and things like that.
Can I be honest? And me and Madness watched the Friday, and I don't know. I cannot speak for Madness, yeah. But these fucking panels were boring as fuck. There were some good bits in it, but some of them that I thought. I think I've seen a picture of someone sleep, and he was literally sleeping in the hall. I think there was some.
I completely disagree with Solitary completely on all of
Yeah,
that, and I would
sorry,
like to
mate.
currently take a big fat shit on your face because you're talking nonsense. What the hell are you talking about? The panels were
Fucking
great.
boring.
The panels were great. There were some panels. There was one panel individual, I think, where one guy, he looked like Mac. Actually, he actually looked just like Mac, British guy. I think
Like
he was
a
trying.
Trump.
He was
With the
all
beard or
white
without the beard.
without the beard, and he was all on his own, and he did his damnedest, to, I think, to try and keep what was quite a dry conversation. Quite interesting. Thought he did excellent. There was no panel for me that came away and I was like, that was terrible. There was just some panels were more interesting than others for me personally, but I appreciate that for other people, they probably found that information really, really good. So to say that it wasn't,
No, but it's my opinion.
That's fine. You found-
I will
you've-
always
exactly.
keep giving my opinion.
I just totally disagree.
If I look at CitizenCon, I have the same thing. If I have to listen to devs for hours, I'm not interested in that. I'm more of the guy, when I read the book, I don't read the text, I look at the pictures. So for me, seeing like something like Board Gamer did, for example, where he grabbed all the, for me, good bits, and I can watch them all together, is for me better than listening to these stories, how they've done it. I'm not interested to see that. It's just my opinion, and there will probably be a lot of people that think that as well, and there will be a lot of people that agree with you. So
Yeah.
No, I don't like it. I don't.
Smart-
I'm
smart
not a
people
fan.
will.
I would probably be at the bar when if I would have gone to such an event.
Well,
talking.
you could tell. You could generally tell. I don't know about Miz because when you were there, you could certainly tell there were certain desks. I think that in terms of you could see when they pan the camera through the audience. You know, like going to Wimbledon, there were certain games that less people attended. Obviously, a lot of people were probably out at the back having a drink, having a chat, enjoying themselves, waiting for the keynote, which is what everyone ultimately really was excited for. There's no question. But there were some of those presentations, which we'll get to later, which I don't know if Miz, how many did you spend? Were you sitting on all the panels or did you disappear?
So part of the issue was that they had 5 panels and they were literally one straight after the other. So you had like about 5 to 10 minutes break before the next one. So, and then on top of that, you had the FOIP stuff to go and look at. You had the 3.0 demo to go and look at. There was also devs on the showroom floor with different computers telling you and showing you different stuff that you could go and talk to the devs and ask them about as well. So if you wanted to see all the 5 panels, you would have missed the rest of CitizenCon. So you had to kind of pick and choose what you wanted to do. Now, for me, obviously, I was with Mac, and he had to go and get his face scanned for the face rig thing. So I went to go and take pictures, and we were going to stream it. Yeah, sorry, I know my voice is terrible. We had to go. I went to go and take pictures of it. So his thing slot was 4:30, but it actually worked out okay for us because, personally, I didn't find the panels. I haven't seen all the panels back, but the first 2 panels probably interested me least because it was kind of stuff that we see in ATV and the animation and things. So they were definitely a lot more technical. I disagree that they were boring, but they were. But yeah, if you don't want to hear the inner workings of how the game's working, then yes, definitely there's a lot less appeal to it. However, I've watched both on Bok and someone else was streaming it the animation one back, and actually that looked pretty interesting. And the what they've done with the tech and everything. So, but yeah, so you have to pick. So we kind of missed the first 2 panels, and then I think we watched the rest. So I think there was the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then the keynote or something like that. I missed it. Yeah, missed the Pioneer one as well actually, because we ended up bumping into somebody else. So, but I think I think that was a better format in doing it that way. What they probably could have done was maybe 4 panels and given a break in between them so that people could go and see other stuff on the show floor and then not necessarily miss the panels. But, I mean, for me, the big part of CitizenCon is actually meeting other people that I've seen on Twitch, on stream, and meeting the community, just getting together and everything. And I knew that all this stuff was going to be on YouTube. And especially from us doing, like, this podcast and things, we watch it all back. And being able to kind of pause and replay the videos as well is a lot more helpful. So, that's kind of why I didn't worry too much about missing them.
There you go.
So what I'm going to do, Miz, because if you want to, if you wanted to do like you uploaded a load of pictures, would you like to go through the photos, go through some of the photos? You can talk about your experience, what it was like there, and maybe some of the people in chat, you guys, if you want to, because I think some of you guys might have been there as well. You feel free to chip in. We could talk about it for a little bit. We're going to, at the end of the day, this is a CitizenCon special, so we're going to talk about that. I do have some other notes which we'll talk about the community's feedback on CitizenCon, and then we'll go through that, and then we're going to go through the main event. So we'll probably look at a little bit of ATV, maybe after. Okay, so we're going to focus predominantly on CitizenCon if we get to it. If not, we might cover ATV on a podcast special, which we'll load up onto YouTube this week. Okay, so the main focus for the show is definitely going to be CitizenCon, but you never know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so let me I'm going to bust up these pictures here.
Let me entertain you.
Let us entertain you.
So I don't know what you're showing off first, but before CitizenCon, we obviously went.
No pooping on my face, by the way.
Let me try.
We went Thursday, the day early.
The loot bag first, dude. The loot bag. I'm trying to keep it in order of what you've put up.
Okay, we'll just do it now. That's it.
Yeah.
So basically, everybody that went into CitizenCon had a loot bag. Didn't have a lot in it, but unless you were one of the lucky 150 fuckers that got the golden ticket, then it had a lot in your bag. But otherwise, yeah, it was just.
How many people were there in total, if I may ask? How many was the total attendance?
I think it was supposed to be like 800 or something, wasn't it? I think.
That's still a good, how do you say, a good bang for your buck. A good luck percentage to get something. That's about 1 in 5. You know what I mean?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Were you molested by Rythus? He keeps talking about grabbing your ass. Was that like a kind of achievement? Was that something that happened? Because I'm just noticing it in chat, and I was curious. Like
it was, yeah.
Did he go straight for the ass? Did he?
I was minding my own business in like the foyer as you enter the thing and talking to some people.
In the foyer, he was minding.
Who the fuck is this? And you turn around and there's just like this belly in my face with the logo going. He goes, "Oh, you know who I am."
Oh, I love that. Do you know what? I love it because people, they like, you have no idea who these people are. They kind of built a relationship with you, and then they think, yeah, it's okay, straight into groping. It's like, okay, no problem. Bodies on display, miss.
It's the look that we had, Madness, when we drove up to CitizenCon. We didn't have that effect. We just jumped in the car with each other and started.
I wasn't known. No one.
We could not do a lot of groping with each other while driving down the M6. You know what I mean?
No, there was no groping. But that was the thing. Is like, yeah, I could imagine it being a little bit more different. People start to know who you are the more you stream, so it must be a bit weird.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is he actually posted his T-shirt, a picture of just his T-shirt in my Discord. I don't know, it was the same day or the day before. So I think he was trying to be clever and says, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And I was like, "Yes, you're Rythius." And he was like, "Oh, shit." So yeah, he gave that one away a little bit. But, he's a really nice bloke, actually. And it was everyone I met was amazing. It was really good to meet them and got on really well. We met some people the day before on the Bar Citizen, which was really good. It was a little bit disappointing because the devs kind of put it in the Marriott, which was like miles away from the venue. So most people booked to stay around the venue, and they said it was between like 6 and 8. Sorry, the Bar Citizen. So we all turned up like before 6 o'clock, and then the devs turned up. Well, 3 devs turned up about 15 minutes to 8, and I don't really know how long they stayed, but. It was, you know, it was. I think we had Brian, Ulf, and I don't know who the third one was. But it was still, you know, there was tons of citizens there in the bar. We had half the whole room converted. I think we was all playing on the football table thing, and it was loud as hell, which is mostly where I lost my voice. And yeah, and I finished my voice off on the last thing when we was voting for them guns. I had to cheer for the A, of course.
So
yeah, the picture there is the queue outside of the Capitol Theatre. So there's a little bit of confusion because there was a kind of a rumor going around saying that the golden ticket was for the first 150 people through the door. But it turns out that it's not, because there were some people at the back who came in actually quite late and grabbed one of the goodie bags, still also got a golden ticket. So I don't know how random it was, but it wasn't just the first 150 people.
That's what I was curious. Do you think there was a little bit of you know, dollars handed underneath, you know, like kind of going?
I honestly don't think so. I mean, yeah,
random lottery.
Who
won? Who do we know that won? I know.
So I know Dargenator,
Maya,
Detox, Maldekem, who was with him as well. Yeah, I think quite a few of the early people did win. So whether there was a bunch in the early bags, but then the rest was like kind of jumbled or not, I'm not sure. But yeah, quite a few of the early ones that went in did.
So suspect. They were like given a special email. Make sure you arrive really early. We
were too busy.
Special handshakes went on.
Yeah, we were too busy getting beards trimmed, so we didn't turn up early.
So Brock, Brock's saying about my old logo, my old Art Corp. Is this because the new one we've seen at CitizenCon, the Art Corp, is amazing?
Yeah. And he says he wants that on the back.
And he wants that. I'm like, well, I tell you what, when that is released as video footage, I will chuck it on the video. How's that sound?
Yeah, the new Art Corp is amazing.
Let's just get 3.0 first, yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to... Do you wonder if it'll be in the basic Art Corp, or will it be this one in 3.0? It'll be this one still, right?
It'll still be that one in 3.0.
It'll still be this one in 3.0, yeah. Okay, it's not good. They won't have updated even just the basics. Okay. Fair enough.
No, I don't think
Fair enough. Okay, so this was the queue.
Yeah.
to get in. How it's pretty beastie queue, really. I mean, that there, I guess that slightly pinky salmon pale building, that's the auditorium, so that's to go in, and this is the queue.
Yeah.
From the back or the middle or
middle-ish maybe. We obviously joined it. We didn't get there at the first. We weren't too late, but because we did the beard trimming first of all. And then we went for lunch, so we didn't think there was any point rushing to get there like straight away. And to be honest, the queue went pretty quick. Although they said it was slow getting in, I didn't think it was that bad.
And the bubble blowing, yeah.
Anybody recognize themselves in chat in that lineup? You can say to me right now, I was next to that blue sign with the P. That was the back of my head, right? That ball patch right there. That's me. That's me.
Yeah. So they had. At the front of the queue, you can probably see it there on the left. There's like a car in the background.
This one.
The
325.
Car painted as was it a 325?
Yeah.
And then they had basically the Star Citizen music blasting for it. There it is, 325A. They had that, so that was where the front of the queue was, and they just had Star Citizen blasting out on the.
Is that fan
on the radio on it?
Was that rented?
Yeah, it's been on Citizen of the Stars. This car, I think.
This is fan made
somewhere. Yeah, this is fan made.
Was it?
Wow. That is commitment right there.
Bio is there on the lift.
Yeah, I saw Bio there, engaged in deep, meaningful conversation.
He's trying to get someone into his org. Is that what it is?
I was going to say, look, if you need an org, come and join my org. This is the right org. We always rib Bio for his constant. Within 5 seconds of meeting him, he's trying to recruit you.
Fuck me. Can't get rid of him either.
So, and what's this unicorn thing here?
I have no idea.
Okay. Sorry, I thought maybe that was like someone in cosplay, like that was like Star Kitten or something ridiculous.
Where's the unicorn?
Yeah, it's up here on the right-hand side. It looks like a unicorn. Look, unicorn head.
I see what you mean now. Yeah.
But no, that's pretty. I mean, that's brave to take your car.
That's a seal, man. That's what's its name?
He's obviously hoping that he's limiting his resale quite a lot with that 325 paintwork.
Yeah, just a touch.
He's not going to be reselling that very quickly.
Well, it's a 325 BMW, you know what I mean?
But it needs a rework already. Look at it. Clearly, it needs to be on its third model, I think. But now we all know the 300 series is getting a complete overhaul. So he's just going to have to change the whole paintwork.
Added to it.
He's going to have to do a whole new paintwork. The dials are clearly wrong. Look at the dashboard. Someone's done not. We need to scoop out the whole front there so that you can see the engine mechanics more.
Madness.
That's the way to do it.
So blasting it off. This is good, man.
Okay, so we got the
good job.
It's good. It looks very well executed. So we've got the what was this? This was just the test area.
3.0.
So that was so one of the rooms that they had at the top, which is where you could get to go and play 3.0 and test it out. They also had the new Sabre. I say the new Sabre Raven, the exclusive Sabre Raven for people to try and fly.
Yeah.
So probably the only chance people are going to get to fly it. I don't know if they were letting the people that want it to try it first.
Did you have a picture of the Sabre Raven? No, it's just a picture.
There is. I did put one of it in game. I think.
Who is that guy standing behind you?
Stranger Danger. You should have been Stranger Danger at that point and told him to. Who are you? Go away. You're just he's a Super Mac Brothers fan. That's what he is. He's just a Super Mac Brothers fan. Look at him, nerding out with two shoulders. Oh, look, he's got full two shoulders. Super Mac Brothers. Oh, bless him. But he's also a Harry Potter fan as well. I was just going to go back to this hat. This Drake Interplanetarian hat. This is pretty sick. This hat. I haven't seen this one before. Is it on there? Is that available to buy? That one? Does anyone know? That's quite a cool hat. That one. Okay, sweet. And then this was YouTube.
How high was the event on the German meter, so to say? How did Germany treat you?
Let's not go there.
Oh, okay. Oh, why not? Let's get the juicy dog. What did happen? Did they weren't very happy with you? Did you get in a fight? Come on.
Yeah, no, it was all right. It's just it wasn't the best town to have the event or city to have the event in, to be honest, because I think Frankfurt's more of like an industrial city. And then the Offenbach, I think that's what it's called, is more like where the workers stay.
Worst part of Germany.
Work in the city. Yes, I didn't want to say that, but yeah. And so basically, after the Bar Citizen on Thursday, we decided to go out and carry on having a drink somewhere else or get something to eat, and everywhere was closed. We just walked for ages and ages, and everything was closed. There was nowhere to eat. We finally found this dirty kebab house, and so we went and had that. And then on Friday after the event, it was like 11:30. I thought, we're a bit earlier today. We'll be able to go and get something to eat and go on to another bar. So we fucking decide. So we go, okay, let's do that. And then Brim goes, I found this really nice little bar. All follow me. So we all followed Brim to this bar, and it was just everything on the way there was closed. So there was nothing open at all. And then there was nowhere to eat, nothing to ever. Some people were going, I'm hungry, and we were going, we'll try and find some food. Go to this bar, see if we can. Anyway, so he took us to this bar that was full of smoke coming out of it. It had blue fluorescent lights out the front, and next door to it was a sex shop. And it was
that sounds like my ideal bar.
Oh my god! Yeah, what are you complaining
about? That is a proper dive bar. That is the best bars you could ever go into. A dive bar. It's next to a sex shop.
Especially with 20 nerds all getting arse raped on the way in and out.
You wouldn't get arse raped on the way in. Maybe on the way out.
So he was like, yeah, okay, we'll go somewhere else. And so loads of people have been suggesting going to the
unbelievable. Can't take
some of the hotel bar. So we decided to walked all the way back to this other hotel bar, and it's the smallest fucking bar you've ever seen in your life. Because so everybody from the event's supposed to be coming here, and it can fit about 10 people in there. So we ordered a round of drinks, and it cost something like €5 for 300 mils of fucking piss poor beer. And
so it was expensive for shit beer. This is Germany. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I think we went to the wrong places.
Toby needed that is shocking.
Where was Toby? Where was Toby for you?
Where was the guy who does he's meant to be the liaison with everyone? What's his name? The new German.
The guy that looked like a Tom.
What was he doing? Isn't that supposed to be their job? Sorting all that stuff.
It was terrible. There was no organised bar citizen for the end of it anyway. So it was like someone suggested it, and I had no idea who.
CitizenCon was better, man.
It was just terrible. So then we decided, I don't know, it got to something like 1 o'clock. Some people were on back going to a sports bar. Then we had a couple of people in our group wanted to get something to eat. So we looked on the app again, and everything was fucking closed. We found a kebab shop somewhere, so we ended up walking all the way to there.
This sounds like an adventure to me. I don't know what you're
2 o'clock in the morning having another kebab, and it's like this is
all you need is 1950s. All you need is 1950s music, a dead child maybe on a train track, and you've got yourself a movie. It's sorted. There you go. Fantastic.
I think you went to the wrong places, man. What did you say to the guys in the bar?
Of course I went to the wrong fucking places. If they were the right places, then fuck Germany. No way.
Did you say to the guy in the bar, did you say, man's not hot?
Man's not hot? That sounds
man's not hot. It's papa.
No, why would he say that?
No. Man's not hot. Come on.
Why would I say that? That makes no sense.
I'll show it to you after podcast. I will not go there.
But yeah, so that side of things was a bit. I mean, it was funny. We took the piss out of it. Everyone was having a bit of a laugh. But
who is this guy next to you in all these pictures? If I may ask, who is that?
This gentleman here, I believe, is Mac. But we'll come to the pictures. We'll do a little bit of the gamble bit and the Mac getting bit. Someone can get me the link. If you haven't, you put the link in the thing, didn't you?
Links in the document,
I'll dig it out
for the bubble one at least.
Yeah. I'll dig it out.
So, what do you want me to talk a little bit about the face? Stuff,
yes. Talk about the face thing. Come on. So, what's your verdict then? What is the verdict?
So basically, this was me testing the face FOIP stuff, and so what they had the you can kind of see it there, the one screen where I was set up, ready to use it, and then they had the other screen which was basically mirroring my screen so other people could watch what you were doing from the other side, except for some reason everybody was looking and pointing at me rather than watching the screen. So it was like they're going, well, you're entertaining enough, and it was like
you're pulling some faces there though.
I was pulling some faces. I managed.
Did you try to pick the nose? What I told you.
No, I didn't. Well, I did this instead, and the mouth on the character went. It just totally fucked up. I mean, as usual, I broke the thing as soon as I sat down. I literally had the thing for 2 minutes, and then my character T-posed, and the bloke with the face where starts going, not quite sure why it's doing that, but it so. going on.
We had some technical difficulties there, did we?
Sorry.
It's fine for me.
Okay.
So you just basically they were using I think C922 Logitech cameras, so they weren't using the official cameras that we saw the prototype of. But you basically sat down in the chair. They had a sort of basic light shining on your face, and you looked with a neutral face in the middle of the screen, and then you just pressed something like F8, and literally within 2 seconds it was configured for your face. And it straight away worked. Start working, so you could move your head left, right, up, down, and it would look around a bit. You could pull all the faces. The calibration wasn't brilliant. You could wink and stuff, and it kind of followed it. You could tell it was an early iteration type of thing. And they did mention that eventually you'll be able to. So if you smile too much, it would just like the grin would just go absolutely huge on it and kind of lock into a smile, and then it kind of had a bit of a wonky face at times. But overall, considering it took like 2 seconds to set up and anybody could just jump in the seat and press a button, I was really impressed. The facial expressions you could get on it was pretty damn good. They did say that they're going to work on it so that you're going to have like a maximum. You can set like a maximum minimum, like for your smile.
Maximum minimum.
Yeah, so like if you smile too much, it won't break the thing and pull out into a weird sort of grin or whatever. So you can set you're going to be able to have much more customization than just literally pressing a button.
That's interesting. No, that's good.
And then the other thing that was I don't know if this is part of the face technology or just part of the technology in the game, but you could do the voice, the audio thing as well. So as you walked away from somebody, you could hear them a lot further away. So at one point, Mac, Asnog and I all got on a station each, and we just walked around and kind of like tried doing sort of hide and seek by just shouting to each other and trying to find each other. And you could hear as you were getting closer, and it echoed as you got further away. It was really impressive. I was
overall involved in this with the grabbing and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did some ass grabbing.
Bit of hide and seek.
Here's the question though. Here's my biggest thing: is it gimmicky, or will you actually think to yourself, "Yeah, do you know what? This is something I want to rock."
See, so this is the kind of difficult part of it. I don't think it's gimmicky. Well, it's obviously a gimmick, but I do think it actually make the game a lot more fun and a lot more interesting to see, because I was walking around and you could see other people having a conversation and you could see all their face moving, and so it definitely made it feel more realistic and lively. Yeah. Being able to hear like conversations just in one ear because they're on the side of the bar, that had a really good effect. It made it feel like you was actually in a working bar. They had like background music playing, so it sounded like it was coming from the jukebox and all that. So all that worked really well in my opinion. But there's going to be a slight issue, and I think you're going to end up having to like pick if they do the whole 3D, like the 3D stuff, and you get like an Oculus Rift or something. Then obviously this technology is not going to work for you because you're going to have a thing on your face. So, so that's part of the problem. You're going to have that. So you can see on that picture, my character is T-post because that's how I broke it. But the face tracking part of it was really good.
Was good. Yeah.
And so to have like what would have like the track hat or track IR thing without having to do anything, but so you could say you turned all the face expressions off and just press that. It was great for just being able to look around. I think Bok had a little bit of an issue where his didn't calibrate properly, so he couldn't.
Have you seen his face? It's not hard to not get that calibrated for a Bok.
Well, that's the problem.
Was it the glasses? I would have thought the glasses would have been, you could stick...
For reflection.
Yeah, okay.
No, I picked people up with glasses and beards and everything else pretty well. I mean, this is, again, early stage.
I couldn't test it anymore, though.
No, Matt couldn't test it with a beard.
Fathead. I know the problem, Bok, don't worry. It's for brains, mate. It's just for brains. Everyone else is just jealous. So you would say, in terms of practically, it's fun. It's going to be fun to use. They'll get better and better as they do with everything. So it will get better.
Yeah, I think it's got work. But I think we had a little chat with the devs afterwards, and he was saying that things that wanted to improve. They said like some of the good things about taking it to like this event rather than just putting it online type of thing is. Obviously, like Star Citizen suffers from the fact that you get all the trolls and all the salt thrown back at them, and it's hard to get decent feedback. Whereas, like at an event like this, you're getting people that care about the game and want the game to be good, and so the feedback they're getting is more constructive, more informative to them. And that's what he said. He goes, "This is really good advantage. We can hear what you've got to say, and take that as feedback." So yeah, it was good.
That's good.
Excellent. And then
very good.
This was the little bad boy that we all saw on videos. So the Sabre Raven was that. I mean, I have to say, as a model, everyone was probably thinking the same thing. Can we get all the models made, please, at this scale?
Yeah. So this was the bloke that made the Gamescom desks. For Gamescom, you know, all the outpost desks, and the same bloke that made the big giant locker
and
that he took to CitizenCon.
He made this.
So
he
made that as well.
He should be already like
MVP about 20 times over.
20, yeah, he's like, he would never lose, would he? Let's be honest.
I mean, he's pretty much got a job for life with CIG now. I think for every event they're going to ask him to do stuff. I imagine, and I think CitizenCon are going to try and get him to do something as well. So.
Wow.
You know, we haven't been any confirmation or anything, but if he does do something for CitizenCon, that's going to be another thing that I'll look forward to seeing. The model was stunning. It really was good.
It's the next event on the calendar, guys, is it?
And the next event on the calendar, I think, is CitizenCon, if you don't count the live stream, which is April 21st, people. Don't forget to go.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Days. I'm going to bring this bottle of 63%.
The gentleman's name is John Rain. And I have his link here. I have his Twitter thing. So is this going to work on my bot?
Golden shower
blocked, because I wouldn't be surprised my bot gets blocked itself.
So biomechanical is still running around Frankfurt in a Roman's outfit with a stick with a big black dildo on it and just running around here.
Yeah,
I think he's still in
stunning.
Still in Germany. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the right one. Yeah,
Sparta!
His stuff's amazing. It's amazing. Oh, actually, just whilst I've got you here, Miz, did you see this gentleman running around in the armor, in the bodysuit with the glowing chest piece?
There's 3 of them.
There was 3 of them.
I think they were from Phoenix Legion or something.
That's pretty cool.
With the
so there was 1 in white and 2 in black.
What was the kid's toy when they had the glowing chest? Like, they had this, was it like, I can't remember what the name of the toys were when I was growing up. Anyway, you had these kind of different colored chests.
The bears, the gummy bears.
No, well, the gummy bears, that was their bellies, but I was meaning chest pieces. And it was more like, you had one which like a hologram. There was like one which.
Is that where the animals jumped out of it?
And you had like beasts.
I say this to loads of people. No one ever remembers what that cartoon series was. I absolutely loved that.
Visionaries. Visionaries.
Is that what it was? Visionaries.
Thank you.
I don't even remember the name myself. But anyway, I used to love that.
That was the one. Yes. Anyway, so it just reminds me of that and mixed with a little bit of Power Rangers.
Knights of the Magical Light.
/ Daft Punk. It's got like a Daft Punk helmet thing going on there, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so the thing with them is there was a cool outfit, really well done. I mean, there's a little bit of debate. They brought guns basically with them, which we were all told not to do. They did have them security checked over, and then they were allowed to come in with them. But you kind of feel like they shouldn't have done. In that respect, I mean, I don't care, but they kind of feel like you shouldn't have done because loads of people may have wanted to but didn't bring theirs, so it's a little bit unfair. But yeah, it looked good.
To be honest, in this current state of affairs of the world in Europe and the things that are going on, I ain't taking guns no fucking where, if I'm being honest.
Well, that's what we were told not to. So yeah, I'm surprised they did. But
especially, with the current way it is, I wouldn't want to have one on me in any instance, wandering around anywhere.
Only thing I bring is my garden home.
You just bring it on potential. I mean, to be fair, they're walking around in full get up, so I can kind of understand, but I would feel so uncomfortable with it. But anyway, back to the Raven, because I wanted to.
It would look good without the guns as well, don't get me wrong. If
they didn't need the guns.
In your customized spandex and you look like a Star Marine, then you're already doing well, and if I have to agree with Miz a little bit, if the rest of the people maybe made things that look like stuff in game and wanted to show it off in the event and couldn't, and then you can't. In the Netherlands, we would say you can measure with different. How do you say? I don't know what the English saying is.
You just said in Denmark we'd say, and then you asked me for the English.
No, in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands,
you don't even listen to.
Just say it in Netherlands then. Just say what you'd say in Netherlands language.
You can't measure with different quantities. You know what I mean? Everyone needs to be treated the same.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one rule for all.
One rule for all. There you
can't just say no one's allowed to bring guns and then let some people in with them. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a minor issue. they were the only ones that brought them, as far as I'm aware, and they let them in. They did have a thorough check over with them. The bloke, they had a security guard come and take them out and fill them and check them, make sure that they couldn't shoot anyone with it, fill them up, and then he got to the guns.
Was that Rythus, the security guard?
Let me check your gun.
Rythus was all over him. Come here, boys.
Come here, boys. Rythus had his garden hose out. Nice.
Come here, lads. Get those hands going. So the Sabre Raven, the model was pretty sweet. I mean, we did you know, like, obviously it's got.
Bear with. Comrade Headcloth wants to share something with you.
Does he want to head? Can I share something with you?
No,
yeah, go for it, Clot. What do you want to share?
With us, man.
Keep it in your pants, though, Clot. Keep it in your pants. Steady on, buddy. Do you want to say someone can permit him, please, a mod? If it's a link, otherwise you will get banned. You'll be not banned. You get blocked for a few, like for 60 seconds or something, and you'll be able to come back again.
I do like big hands.
You do like big hands, yeah.
Ooh, I have small little hands.
Oh yes, hours of getting, playing with joysticks.
Is that why you kept away from Bok?
So.
I'll
wait. I'm not gonna. While we're waiting, I'm just gonna carry on with the Sabre Raven. So
yeah, go for it.
Did you guys at what point did you realize that this was linked to an SSD only kind of situation? Did they guys tell you pretty much through the minute you arrived, or was this news spread across? You guys heard about it, and then everyone suddenly was like, "Ooh, there's potentially a golden ticket," and then it kind of you all heard it off of other people like Chinese whispers, or
so. If you remember, the AMD stuff was linked to graphics cards, AMD Amiga. So when we saw this, and it was Intel, we kind of grasped. I don't know if anyone did officially say, but we kind of got the thing that it's going to be with some Intel product.
For anyone,
I don't think we knew straight off the back that it would have been with the Intel hard drives. Then we got kind of told, or a rumor, someone said if you got a golden ticket, you win one of these ships. So at no point did we know that it was linked to the hard drives.
Man, both of us are frozen on the stream, by the way.
Sorry.
Did you know beforehand that you were strict into half an hour or 45 minutes sales talk from Intel? Is that something that...
Oh, you guys are frozen on the stream?
Yeah, we're frozen for some reason.
Hang on. Sorry, guys. You shouldn't be frozen on the stream.
You're frozen.
Move.
Let's still frozen.
Wherever you are.
I would sing, but my voice really doesn't work at the moment. It's broken. So I'll, to answer your question, no, we didn't kind of know. You just keep trying to fix it. I'll just tell you about it. So
can I show my ass without anyone seeing it?
No, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it whilst I try and quickly figure out what's
so yeah, we didn't. I personally, at least, didn't know that it was linked to a hard drive, and we heard the rumor about the golden ticket, and we all thought the golden ticket was linked to just if you had the golden ticket, then you've got a free Sabre Raven, basically. So it wasn't until we then all got together, got into the presentation, and the box came in and Intel came out and said, "Oh, everybody that's got a golden ticket has now got a hard drive and a Raven." Holy shit!
Put us in the normal 3 screens at least, so we don't see what you're doing on your desktop, man.
Oh, we've lost you guys. 2 seconds. Yeah, I'm gonna have to switch you guys to the 3 screen, guys. We've lost the feed. It's just died on us, I'm afraid. So give us 2 seconds whilst I try and quickly salvage this. For some reason, we've literally. Zoom has died. Zoom has died.
It's working on mine. It's working out.
Yeah, you guys have died on my screen.
No, I'm not in there either.
Yeah, you guys. This Zoom has died. 2 seconds, guys, whilst we quickly fix this. Do apologise.
Oh my god.
So I'll just keep.
You guys keep. You can talk whilst I quickly try and figure
keep you all entertained. So yeah. So that was the presentation came through. And then obviously the box came out, and Chris decided to chuck some lovely hard drive. Well, only one hard drive into the crowd. And I was surprised they didn't have a fight there at the front of the stage. He gingerly threw this hard drive out and said, "It's mine." You
guys should hopefully.
We were sitting right at the very top, so yeah, there was no chance of us. I was kind of hoping to just turn and say, "You've got one, and you've got one. Look under your seat because you've got one."
It's not fucking Oprah Winfrey, is it?
Why not? Why fucking not? It should have been.
Come on, Intel needs to sell something as well.
Hard drive, SSD, same thing. It's all the same thing.
We got a little bit of clipping issues with you, Saul, for some reason. So just bear with me.
We don't want any clipping.
Yeah, I know.
It's still hard.
We can still see.
I don't
you
want
guys.
people to see my whole house.
2 seconds.
Shall I give them a tour? Should I give you guys a tour?
Give him a tour. Give him a tour.
No, there are some brands here that I can't show off of my old job, so can't do that.
Thank you. You gotta love it when whenever.
I can a little bit, so
It's
so,
almost
you know,
almost like a pro tour.
this is where
Don't
the magic.
do that. I'm just clipping you. Good about.
This is where the magic happens, guys. You see, this is a
Magic.
vacuum cleaner.
What's that stain on the middle of your the bed?
It's my keys, man. It's my keys on the
Oh,
back.
it looks like a stain from here, buddy boy.
No, I can.
Quality. Is that a hand lotion on the side there? There's a couple of tissues on the floor as well. Oof.
Tissues on the floor.
Lonely man. Right, hang on. Let me just trim you in. What's them? We've got everything now. It looks like I got you guys. So I'm just going to quickly push you guys
Sure,
back.
Saji, thank you for the host, brother.
Thank you, buddy. Right, yeah, I'm gonna have to quickly trim you again now. Yeah, well, must have been you, Saul. I must have lost you. I know, because like Miz is fine.
Yeah, blame me again.
I have to blame you.
Fucking smack you with a shovel.
So anyway, carry on, Miss.
Listen, they're always blaming the immigrants, these two. It's always the
Of course.
immigrants. that has done it.
Brexit our way out of it.
God, honestly.
Listen, we bring in more taxes to your country than you can ever imagine.
Honestly, right, we're pushing it live. Here we go. We're back on. We're back on. Sorry about that.
Tax-paying citizen.
Little brief technical problem. So yeah, so the Sabre Raven. Do you know what? I was genuinely curious, like what happened if you guys heard about it, and I was curious, like, was it people upset about the fact that it was only for SSD? Did you answer that?
I think there's been a lot of salt about it. Yeah. There's also other people that aren't that bothered. I suppose it depends on how much you feel like you want that ship.
I
mean, the big
there's-
question
Yeah.
the question we haven't got an answer to really, I think, is like, obviously Chris originally said that all ships will be available to earn in game. So what we don't really know, there's no confirmation at the moment, is that when this finally goes live, can we earn one in game?
I don't think
It's
you're going to
something-
be. Sorry,
No.
Saul, but I think
No, it's
they're going
right.
to do the same thing they did with the Omega. I think it will be an exclusive skin, kind of like, and there will be a variation of the Sabre Raven that we will be able to buy in game. But I don't
Madness.
think it will be this version of it.
How quick was the Omega on, let's say, not even the gray market, let's say the black market, you know what I mean?
I don't think
How
you can
quick
do it with this
were-
one because it's linked to the SSD, so you can't. And they've
You
said that
still-
if
you
you
still get a
mount,
code,
no, but
right?
listen, if you mount the SSD, you
Yeah.
lose the Raven. So if you do anything, if you return or not mount the SSD, but if you return the SSD,
Melt the
you-
SSD.
yeah, melt the SSD.
Really
It's fried.
good
Oh my
melt.
god, melt it down with the plastic. But no, if you return it, that's it. Wipe goodbye. No more Raven. It's gone.
Yeah,
You know,
so anyone in chat, be very, very careful about buying one of these Ravens on the eBay.
yes.
Because basically, I mean, realistically, I could go and buy one of these hard drives tomorrow, sell you the code for it, send the hard drive back, and I'll make the money and you'll lose the ship.
yeah,
Oh, yeah,
And
they
then
thought
look
about
over-
that, obviously.
yeah. Don't. This is what I'm
I
doing,
can
yeah.
see, and we
Do
discussed it briefly on Friday, Madness, and me and Miss did before the podcast started. We talked about it, but I can see two sides. You know, I can see. And I
bring
will
up-
not name names. I can
gonna
see
bring
people
up-
that think like, "Oh, no, we need to buy this hard drive to buy this ship." But I totally agree with Miss. I think the bigger question is going to be: is it going to be available after release? You know, and you don't have to buy the hard drive. You know what I mean? And then next to that, is it going to
Right,
be
don't
such a
worry.
big miss to your
This is
ship
the answer.
collection?
This is to answer your question. Yeah, go for
Yeah.
it. I've got it right here. Carry on.
No. So is it going to be a big miss in your ship catalog or your ship fleet at home? You know what I mean? Are there other ships that could do the same thing for you? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. Well, the SS. I mean, yeah. For me, in terms of answering the question, which is fundamentally, is this going to be you able to buy this in game? I think you'll be able to buy a variation. You won't be able to buy this exclusively. This will be just like the Omega. This is going to be tied specifically to a piece of gear.
But is the
kit.
Amiga not going to be available?
No.
Is the Amiga different to the other Mustangs?
You've got the Mustang. They've done.
Or
They
is it
did a
just a
blue
skin?
one. It's a skin color. So this is. They will do another Sabre Raven, but they'll do a different
With
skin.
That doesn't matter then, does it? Well, that's what I mean. If
So-
it's just a skin color, it really doesn't matter.
Yes,
It
yeah.
really doesn't matter.
And do you know what? is
in my
interesting
opinion,
about
it's just an
this.
exclusive skin.
Yeah. If you looked at it, I mean, I can link it, but there's about the Omega. Basically, they did a blue variation. I can't remember what it was called. It's exactly the same racing. It's exactly the same Mustang racing version. Actually, speaking of the Mustang, the new Mustang looks fantastic, by the way. Rework.
I like the colours. I don't know what the actual difference is in them, but yeah.
What the new Mustang?
Hmm.
Oh,
New Mustang looks good, man. Miz, come on.
Jesus, hang on.
What I've seen the picture of it, but I don't know what the difference is.
Listen, you're not getting a free pass because
hang
you've
on.
been to CitizenCon, man. You need to see this.
Hang on.
I saw it. I've seen it, but I didn't. I suppose I've not really looked at the Mustangs.
I'll
too
put
much.
the. Sorry, I'll
Let's
put
not
it.
save it in.
If anyone's got a link for it, I didn't actually plan it in here, but I'm going to quickly grab it on.
I was going to get the link, but I don't know. Did I not?
So,
put it in
comrade,
there?
so while Madness is looking for that, and me and Miss.
And if someone else finds it quick, just chuck it in because I do.
No, that's right.
I had
So,
it on my Discord, I think.
Comrade's question is Star Citizen optimized for the Obtainer? So, Comrade, by the time that Star Citizen is released, there's something better out than the Obtain. So I wouldn't even worry about that. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's a gimmicky thing. Now it's for the developers, it's obviously a great thing. I think for our home users, if you have a normal SSD or an M2 or whatever, this shit will run anyway. You know what I mean? It's not that they're going to say, oh, you need to buy an Intel product, otherwise you can't play the damn game. You know what I mean? It's
All right, I got it. There we go.
You got it, yeah?
Yeah, I got it here. Right. Okay, so I'm going to bring this up here.
so
That's it there. And then you've got the original Mustang. So I'll just
Really
bring up
nice looking.
I'll
this,
bring
I
up
love
the
it.
So
I'll bring up the
apparently,
current one.
apparently 3.0, the Optane thing is meant to be optimized for. So it's not going to be optimized yet, but when 3.0 comes, it is. How much of a difference it's going to make for just normal gameplay? I would say probably not that much.
You're maybe looking at 5 to 10%.
That's the Omega.
You know?
Yeah.
And then this was the blue version that they did. So just to answer your question, so that was the limited one, the AMD one, the R9,
Yeah.
and then this was the one that you can buy.
Is it the Gamma, is it?
Yeah. So this is the Gamma.
Yeah, see, I don't see the problem in that. If it's just the skin, then I really don't. I don't see the problem in an exclusive skin. I really don't.
And what they're going to do is next up in the line is Zotac. They're going to do a yellow 325, you know.
And the standard. I mean, this is
And
the
then
Delta,
Asus
but
is coming as well soon.
let's just try and put out the Alpha because I think this is to try and show the Alpha versus the standard model. It's hard to show, but you can kind of see, like, this is the... I'm going to get loaded up on pictures here, but let me just get rid of this a second.
That's the normal version, right? That one,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck it. Hang on, I'll bring it up again. Close the wrong one down. Got to be careful when Windows go crazy.
So they've
But
taken the
that's
engines
normal
off the
one,
top.
and that's the new one. But also, I think it looks like you're going to be able to... I'm hoping you
longer?
don't get in underneath anymore. I'm
Yeah.
hoping you now just get in from the
Because that's what's been
nose.
my biggest problem with that. Like, I can't even... And that's probably why I didn't notice the difference too much, because I've just not looked at Mustangs, because... you try and get in them and they're just stupid. Like you stuck crawling, you glitch up the ladder. Even the one that's the bang stang thing that's supposed to have the bit in the back, you just can't get into it very well.
The Bang Stang, what is that?
That's the Mustang Beta. It's got
Oh,
it's
I
like
forgot,
it's got a bed and a
It's like the Bang Bus. Is that what
Freeman-
with the Bang
yeah,
Stang?
that's what they call it,
Freeman
the bang
points.
thing, yeah.
Sorry, Mitz, to interrupt. Freeman
Where
does
can I
point
buy
out-
this?
Well, I forgot to say that the Omega does have another thruster over the standard, the Gamma. So there is a slight performance difference. But again, I don't mind it a little bit if there's a little bit of a difference. But you know, you got to be careful that you don't get into the realms of, you know, your people that bought SSD have a pay-to-win ship over everybody else type of thing.
Nah.
You got to be careful.
No.
But
Why would you buy a Bang Stang if you can have a fucking Bunga Bunga party and a Bano Merchantman? You know what I mean?
But
Because you might not be rich enough to have a fucking bunga bunga bang.
But I-
Bunga party.
I think this looks so much better. This new Mustang, it's so much better. In fact, it makes
Yes.
me think how exciting it's going to be to earn this ship really quickly with my really
I
expensive.
mean, as soon as I saw that, I mean, it's orange, which I liked anyway, so maybe it's just a paint job, but I did think it looked much nicer. I almost thought, is it a two-seater because of that cockpit looked
It
quite
does.
long, but
I have
I
to
don't think
say-
it is. I think it's just
yeah,
it's
stylized
just
a bit,
brought
probably.
longer, and then you've got like more room in the back.
I
which
think
was
they
sort of
changed
cramped
the
as well.
complete perspective of the Mustang, though, for me personally. When I see the Mustang nowadays, I think, what a piece of... Let's not
That kind of
go there.
improvement, yeah.
But this, you know,
I like
this
that.
makes it a lot more in the lines of the 325, all the smaller fighter ships. It makes it look a lot more sleek, you know what I mean? Not like a silly starter ship. I think this is really, really nice.
But do you know what this does, though? What this does is like all those ships which you showed, the Omega, the Gamma, the Delta, they've got to
They're all going to
redo
get upgraded.
all of those to follow this. It's like when they do rework and they've already done a ton of variations on it, I can imagine they had it, they're like, oh, for fuck's sake, we've now got to change all of those. It's not like it's just one ship now. So I can see why, you know, we all talk about, I mean,
they did it with the Aurora,
talk about variations, but the truth of the matter is adding lots of variations onto ships so early is obviously, I think, has been a little bit of a pain in the ass for them, because they have to do so many more when they do reworks. It's so many. Like, think about it. If they did another freelancer update, that's the Max. What's the other? Name me the other.
Well, that's why I think they haven't rushed to bring out the Max and stuff. To be honest,
the Connie, the Constellation, the Taurus, the Phoenix, the Aquila. If they were to ever do
the Aurora is a great example, you know. And they redid it with those as well, and I think they redid it pretty quickly eventually. You know what I mean? But I think it's a bigger thing. Yeah, the Mustang are all very similar. The Max is a complete different model than the original.
But the cockpit should be the same.
The cockpits are similar, obviously. But yeah, it's interesting. I think these things are done quicker than like a.
These are one of the things we've kind of talked about, isn't it? It's the same with the Aurora. Every single one of the Auroras need to be done. So they've said with item 2.9 they've literally had to go back and redo everything, and that's kind of the problem. We don't want to feel like you're constantly just redoing ships all the time, because every time they come up with something new, but people then moan if their ship's not being developed. So you're kind of stuck in the sort of, oh, well, I want my ship out, I want to be able to fly my ship, but then when it comes out, well, actually now we've got this new technology, we've realized that this is actually a better way of doing it. They then have to redo it. So it's a difficult balance, and I think realistically having that Mustang, like I said, it wasn't practical. That could never have stayed. We could never have kept that earlier Mustang that we got, because you can't get into the fucking thing.
You can't get in. You can't set the self-destruct and get out quick enough. Yeah. You know, what's the point of having... You literally... A self-destruct is designed so that you can get out of the ship. Not that you go down with the ship. You know what I mean? But unless you choose to. I mean, okay, sure, if I'm the captain, I suppose I'm supposed to go down with the ship. But I'm a bit of a pussy, and I'd rather get the fuck out of there personally. Yeah.
So you just survive.
Especially with permadeath, I don't really want to lose a life if I can avoid it. So, you know, I've done it before. The Aurora was another one. You know, it's a 10-second countdown, and it takes you 10 seconds to get, or 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds to get out of the seat, you know, let alone get out the door, get out the away from the ship without it exploding. So that I completely, and also the head clipping, they had problems with clipping, and you were constantly being thrown out of the ship.
It sounded like a cool idea, one that you climb up a tube and climb into it, but you know, they come to realize that it just doesn't work. We know Freeman. I know it's pre 2.0, and that's kind of my point. I'm hoping that now with item 2.0, now they've got a bit more of a clear vision of how they want to go forward, how components are going to work, how everything's going to be broken up within the ship. Then I'm hoping this will mean that it's more close to a final iteration of ships, because they know, you know, they're getting obviously a lot more idea. They've got a much bigger player base to give them feedback on what works and what doesn't work. And so, you know, I do hope that this is kind of less tinkering with ships now. Let's bring them out as they're intended to be, and move on to the next one, kind of thing.
I think we're talking about the variations. I do think they've probably learned a little bit from obviously doing those early ships, you know, to do too many variations straight out of the gate. I think, you know, they did a lot of variations on gear that they probably didn't need to, and they're now reaping or paying the rewards for that now, having to do so many amendments and stuff. But what I wanted to say is, I was just going to go back to the Raven very quickly, just because I want to talk about it. The
cockpit.
It's exclusive in-game Sabre Raven. Okay, this is the RSI Intel innovation. So this is what they said: unique single-stator ship. It has an EMP disruptor weapon for crippling opponents' defenses. Okay, future optimizations take advantage of new storage, blah blah, blah, to do with the, you know, etc., the SSD. But the actual interesting thing is obviously it is exclusive, and and if you say exclusive, you're going to have to keep it exclusive. So it will be an exclusive skin or variant or whatever. Maybe the Sabre Raven in game might not have an EMP. Maybe it will have an EMP. I'm sure it will, but maybe it's just a skin or whatever. But I'm not. I don't know if you guys have seen the notes on the EMP, but as far as I know, EMP before disrupted the ship that was attacking and disrupted the ship that it hits. Going forward, EMPs are already equipped. They're no longer going to affect the ship that hits you with an EMP. So they're going to still be able to no longer float dead in space like a warlock currently does, and you can have a chance to kill them at the same time as you or whatever, or dodge missiles or whatever, launch missiles. They will be fully active, which scares the shit out of me. Just for one reason, because gankers and those horrible people that love to just use this shit to annihilate you, if they don't fix the ability for your ships to be fully recovered, so your pips aren't broken, and your guns, like your ballistics, don't take 2 minutes, takes 30 seconds, it will be so powerful going forward.
There's
I know we're
probably
going to have
a chance factor with it as well, man.
And I wonder, will it be in? I mean, I'm wondering if anyone knows. Have they said that you're going to be able to EMP and stuff? You're going to be able to take these ships more into
bit of RNG maybe.
AC Arena Commander. Because can you imagine the carnage that'll ensue with EMP warlocks and EMP that don't actually because at the moment that's one of the only things that's horrible about them is obviously you're completely vulnerable the minute you hit an EMP. It messes your ship up. So
they will probably factor in a chance madness, where you say, okay, out of the 10 times that you launch it, 5 times it will be going through and 5 times not. Maybe that might be an idea. You know what I mean? It's not always successful, for example. Maybe there are some measures for it. They will have to develop some countermeasures to make it balanced, you know what I mean? Because you cannot just say, because then you're creating a meta where everyone is flying in these things around, just annoying other people. Yeah. Then you get these boys that got their pocket money from mom and dad for mowing the garden, not gonna buy these ships and gonna fly around like a bunch of fucking idiots. So I think there will be a factor, what I said, with chance and with RNG and with countermeasures. I would guess. I would hope, you know what I mean.
This is the thing: is they I mean, I'm sure they're working on the EMPing, but when I heard that, and I've seen it from some leaks and stuff that people have said. Obviously, I don't want to go too much into leaks because obviously that's
we're not going into leaks.
We don't want to go into it, but I'm aware that is something that was always going to come. It's not a question of that was. It was always going to happen. EMPing was always going to be here, and they were going to make it. You can't have ships disabling themselves. That's just
bigger
silly.
Cooldown is a good one.
Yeah, that's going to come in.
I think at the end of the day, I can't go over the leaks and everything else, just taking it a point of development, it's like everything else. It's like the combat, it's like the flight simulations, it's everything. It's an iteration of it. It's going to be balanced. It's things that need feedback. It needs to be played. It needs to be tested, and then it will change. So whatever the patch notes are, or say it's just another iteration. It's another thing that's work in progress. There's things like delaying how long it takes for the EMPs to recharge. It may be a one-time use thing. You could maybe potentially get countermeasures on your ship to stop someone EMPing you if you hit it at the right time. There's lots of different gameplay ways to stop it. Huh?
Can I buy those glasses at Pearl? Or
these are not glasses. This is an EMP.
They look like them old
salt generator
or something.
They do. I thought it was goggles. I thought it was like a cool kind of ghetto blaster, and someone's going to start doing breakdancing with it and stuff. Again, this is an EMP.
Yeah, they were. But if you had a pacemaker on, you're dead. It's a ghetto blaster that kills people with pacemakers.
But this is interesting. Like, it shows you the scale of it. So I'm curious as if we're going to see EMP kind of like dropping off like bombs and stuff and other things. On
the Raven, that bottom hatch opened up, and it seems like there's no practical reason for that to do so. And then I thought, well, is that going to drop them EMP? That's what it looks like to me. It'd be more like, well, that would drop out. You could do it as a little drop that out. On someone and fly away.
Surprise that you can
tropical surprise, exactly.
They listen to us.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, this is the first iteration of the tropical surprise. You're going to drop this out of your Sabre Raven onto a capital ship, and it will basically destroy everything. And in those 2 little holes, we put Bugbearcha and Miss, and they basically have like screamers.
I'm
if they have their voice back.
I'm trying to. I'm bringing up. I'm bringing up the video for the Raven now because I'm curious about what.
While you do that, I'm going for a quick.
I'm just bringing up the Raven because I wanted to kind of go over the what you were talking about, Miz, which is the engine bit where it opens up.
Yeah.
So
but the thing as well you got to remember with the EMP is that how we're playing it at the moment is so far fetched from how the game will be eventually. So having an overpowered warden at the moment would probably kick the shit out of you if it doesn't get affected by the EMP. But if you're in the real, not the real world, but the real game when it's out and stuff happening, there might be multiple people playing. You know, they might disable one ship, but then if it's got a long time use or it's got some other disadvantage to it, it's just going to get ripped out the sky for something else. Yeah, like that. Why do they open?
Those are bomb. That is very interesting because that opens up and look at them. That is literally what we just showed. That's the EMP2. It's got 2 generators there. There's not just one. There's one on the left and there's one on the right. So yeah, that's.
To me, that looks like it's going to drop.
There they are. There they both are. So unless you have to open the doors to activate it. It is interesting.
It's an unknown because it just seems a bit odd that there's a bomb-like hatch at the bottom.
So a bit of speculation.
Speculation. We like that here.
Bit of speculation.
I thought it was a wind tunnel.
Not a lot of. Maybe other people have seen that before. Maybe they haven't done it, and maybe people are going, "Ooh, that's interesting." What I found interesting as well is that this doesn't have 4 guns like the Sabre. It's only got 2 guns.
But you got the
more than hell makes up for it with the EMP.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, I like it as a ship, and I've got like a Buccaneer or something. That actually, this would be more ideal for me because having something like an Imp as like a smuggler or something would be quite handy to be able to just get. I'd use it to just get away more than anything.
I'm just, I was expecting, when this bit happens and the electricity goes around in a globe, I was waiting for this to disappear and then Arnold Schwarzenegger's character naked to be appearing in the middle. And then
what would you say? Get to the chopper.
No, just from like the Terminator, because all the electric and the ball shape and stuff.
I'm a cop, you idiot. He would come out naked and say, "Who's your daddy?" What does he do?
There's a dude in the middle. I mean, when I first saw it, I did like it. I was very excited by it. It does look like the front here is space for 2 guns, by the way, at the front here on the wings next to the cockpit. There is definitely looks like there's an opportunity to put 2 more guns on there.
Well, this bomber door's closed and throw.
Which means variations maybe on this style. So maybe there could be some variations on the Sabre Raven. So maybe they'll do an armored version, and maybe they'll put guns here and turn this into a different ship class. This will be a new variant for us to buy potentially, or maybe they'll do an EMP version and then they'll add. I don't know. I'm just.
You know what would be cool, man?
There's a lot more. Why have those empty spaces at the front here? It just makes no sense to me at the moment. There's no vents. There's no vents there. There's nothing. They're just literally plain white, plain empty space there, and it just feels like that should be something there.
I don't know. You know what would be a great idea if you had something like a counterattack, and this is just theory crafting, yeah. So like Spider-Man, where you fire like some sort of a net around the Raven, so you have ships that can counter that can shoot like some sort of a shield around the Raven, so it can't EMP and only can EMP in that shield. That would be a great countermeasure thing.
You've been watching way too much Spider-Man.
No. Mate, we're looking at 2947. You know what I mean? Things can happen. You never know. I think it's a great idea. I think I've seen it somewhere in a space thing as well, where they contained some sort of a power of a ship by shooting a bubble around it that lasted for a certain time,
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, you could do all sorts of things. You could have, I mean, in Eve, for example, I don't know if you guys have played it, but you would have different levels of EMPing or different levels of kind of these counter interdiction stuff. So if the ship has 1 drive, you could have a drive on your ship to counter it that was ×2. So his drive wouldn't affect your ship basically because you're running a better component on your ship that blocks his gear. But then he can come back and get
stuff like that.
And then he could have component 2. For example, and he's got a bigger drive, his ship's bigger, he's spent more money, he's risked, it's taken up more of his other ships, he's taking more of his power, it's taking more of his fuel, so he can have maybe a bigger engine in it, but he's got a bigger EMP on his vehicle, which then counters my size 2, and then enables it, and then I can go, well, I can then defend myself against that by getting a size 3, and so on. So there's possibilities for that.
With the item 2.0 system, I think that's kind of the point that they're after a little bit, in terms of they want, like, say you had 5 slots for stuff, and you could have a size 5 EMP block.
It's not about the size.
But it means you can't stop anything else. You can't stop missiles, or you can't stop something else, or you can choose size 3 shields and the size 2 EMP blocker. Like you balance, you'll have a little game of balancing when you take your ship out. Well, what do I try to counter, or what do I do with security? And it might be something like that, really.
Yeah. Depending on the tank of your ship as well, how much hits can it sustain?
Exactly,
Do you need a shield like that, or do you have enough armor to eventually get away and recharge?
See.
Yeah,
Well, you might say something like, my Freelancer Max has got big fuck off engines, which means it can run away really fast. Yeah. But if it gets empty, it's fucked. So let's get emp protection.
Yeah.
And not worry about the shield so much, because once I get away, they're not going to hit me anyway, sort of thing. So
we'll learn more. Like we've discussed it. At the moment, the reality is maybe encountering any ships is going to be neither here or there. So the game mechanics might be literally about catching people. So it might be literally about trapping people. That could be the most important thing in the game, because you can't find anyone. Yeah. You have to pin people down. So that might be what everyone's either countering, and everyone's trying to up-spec their ships if you're a combat person to try and trap people, and everyone's trying to break out of being traps. That we'll wait and see. I mean, that's a long way away yet, so let's just wait and see.
But definitely going to be an interesting conversation.
Okay, so the face scan, the head scanning, Ms. This is Matt what was it like? How long did he have to sit there?
So he was there for about 30 to 40 minutes. It wasn't too long, wasn't too bad. It might have even been a little bit quicker. So we were sort of told, I think, a while back that they were working on like a mobile face rig thing, so they could come to events and do this. So after I talked to the bloke, I think it was John, I can't remember what his surname was, but he's from the Derby studio, and he basically said that they dropped the whole idea of having a mobile unit. It just didn't work. So basically this is the full setup that they've been using. There were supposed to be 50 cameras. He didn't get time to put all 50 on, so there's like 47. He said he ran out of time. But you know, as you can see, there's 47 cameras spread around it. They sit in the middle of it all, and they just put like a white background on the back, and they get them to do different poses. So I was hearing he had to do like a dead face look. He had to try like do a smile, all different types of looks, and then it would just literally take a picture, download all the images. And there was like the first couple took a lot longer because it was calibrating it and checking all the lighting and everything else was okay.
Nobody's going to recognize the poor bugger when he grows his beard back.
But that's the thing, he's putting his character in the game, but he looks so bloody different without his beard that I'm not sure we'll know it's him anyway. But yeah, it was interesting. It was good to see. We did have a word with them and asked them if they could take the rig to CitizenCon, which they've said it's a possibility, and to contact them nearer the time. I also spoke to Brian the day before and asked him the same question, and he said that sounded like a really good idea, and to message him when I got back. So I'll be contacting him over the next few days to give him a little nudge. But I think some other people have asked him as well. So there's a very high possibility that this will also be at CitizenCon. So hopefully we'll have another. So they only got through like 10 people. So hopefully we'll have another 10 or more people to be scanned, depending on like how long the event goes for and how many they can do, really.
Well, I mean, if they get it to CitizenCon, I think they should definitely do all winners of the dogfighting competition should be scanned into the
and especially the two streamers. Well, we only need to do one because one's already got it, but the one streaming the event definitely needs to.
Well, do I need to remind you that Zach will be there and that you definitely will not be a winner?
The winners, the winners.
Do I need to remind you of that one?
Past and present, baby. I'm the original, so the original should always
past
be.
Is gone.
I think a gold statue should probably be erected at the one of the stations. I think, don't you guys? I think
the only thing that is erecting is in between your legs, man. Don't worry about that.
Anyway, so yeah, the other thing with the face rig is they basically said that you will see your face in the game. It will be there. I think it is definitely going to be used as an NPC or potentially more than one, although if you see them, maybe they'll vary it. So I think it's also potentially going to be used for like character creation, so the face will be all split up and they'll be able to take the eyes and the ears and
so you can see I want Mac's eyes, but I don't want his chin because that was a bit weird. And then you can say I want Madness's on their face, for example. Can you do that? Is that something?
Detox, what's up, baby? How you doing? Didn't see you in chat.
Are these components that they scan going to be used for character creation, or are these components going to be used for NPCs?
I think both.
Both. Okay,
I think
that's
it's
cool.
going to be. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the beard. Yeah, and to answer what Detox is saying, I think the beards and everything will be added afterwards. So we kind of discussed it a little bit last time, but to scan all the beards on would. Well, actually, Mac asked why he had to shave, and they said that the capture tool or the system they were using, it just wouldn't capture the beard. Basically, the reflection.
No, but it does capture Myers' hat. That's something that I'm a bit confused about.
How does it capture Myers' hat?
Well, Meyer kept his hat on while doing the face scan.
He might have just done that for one picture because I think he asked Darge to come back and take a picture of it. I think because everyone had to wear the skull cap
Okay.
thing. He said he might have just done it as opposed things. Yeah. So, and I think they wanted it to be all completely clear because then when they do this thing where they do chop your face up and use it for different stuff, so you know they need to be able to access clearly, like take the mouth out and take the eyes out. So I need it sort of clear as possible, really. So as you can see, it's not a massive setup. It fits in the smallest room, so
It's pretty small.
definitely a chance for them to bring it. I think it's a little bit of a pain in the ass bringing it over, but from Manchester to for them to take it to Manchester, hopefully wouldn't be too difficult.
It would be. I think it would be pretty sweet. I think a lot of people
cool, yeah.
would love to like. It would be nice to have like a similar thing as well with like golden tickets, so people sit there and then they open up something, sit under the chair or something, and if you've got a ticket, you get yourself into the game. That would be pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
the problem with that is you have to sign all these forms for image release and everything else, which is why they asked in advance because they sent them off and you need ID and print it off because basically you're signing your face away so that Star Citizen can do what the hell they like with you.
Wow. So yeah, that's quite an ask, really. Because you imagine what I'm going to do with Max Face in game. It's going to be some fun scenarios going on.
I think a lot of people can do stuff with Max Face in game, yeah.
And Gambles.
I said what he should do is he needs to force anybody that's in his org to have the same face as him and just have it like because he's just he didn't get imaginative with his org name, so he just called it SMB org. So I just renamed it SM Borg. So yeah, if they all literally have the same face, it'll just be SM Borg. You've all been assimilated into the SM Borg. So yeah, millions of Macs running around. So.
Wow, that would be quite terrified of that moment. It would be Neo and versus what's his face, Mr. Smith, whatever. Big fight going on. That would be pretty scary.
Exactly.
And the last picture, dude, is a redesign from the ground up, the Aurora. Discount code New Beginnings.
Yeah,
very cool.
It was basically me taking dirty toilet pics. So you know when you go into like the public toilets and stuff, they've always got these stupid adverts on top of the urinals. Well, this was cool. They had all different. So they had like join the UAE poster. They had this Aurora picture. It was
cool.
I just had a double take on it because first I was not expecting. And I was like, oh fuck me, that's an Aurora. So I was like, yeah, I'll just take a little picture of that while everybody's looking at me with my phone out of the urinals. Yeah, why not? Is that fucking piece of cake big enough? Jesus, it's big. It's impossibly bigger than your head. And I mean, I know that's massive.
Look at my piece of cake.
You're gonna have a big cake for the chat, baby.
What the fuck is that, man?
It's just Chinatown.
Fucking wedge.
Look at that.
What are you saying, Chinatown?
It's amazing.
Is it from Chinatown?
I don't know what that code gives you, by the way. Has anyone tried it yet? Is it a discount on the starter package or?
It's condoms. Aurora condoms. Vending machine.
Very
A
small.
new beginning. A new beginning.
Yeah, because they rip on the way in and they don't actually work.
They don't work.
They're very small and cheap.
There's a lot of clipping going on. Oh my god. What are we like? The food channel. Yeah, welcome to the food channel, guys. Yeah. Love it.
$5 off of anything. Is that off the starter packages then, or just in a basic Aurora? Do you know?
Let's get in to the exciting stuff, boys. Exciting stuff. Very, very
just
exciting.
blurry, so.
We've got some.
It will go.
Right, guys. This is where it's all gonna get very, very exciting.
Just an Aurora MR packages. Okay, well that's pretty good. It's always good to have a bit of a discount on them.
Okay.
Covers the frickin' tax.
So I'm gonna. So I'm just going to go through the table in terms of highlights between the three of us, and you guys in chat, feel free to tell us what your highlight was, and then we'll go into CitizenCon and stuff. So, from me, the highlight of the whole show, there's besides the keynote and everything else, which we'll go into later, one of the most exciting things that I was really pleased to hear is Chris Roberts talking about going to quarterly releases of information, updates, basically. So they're going to clearly going to make use of the Delta Patcher. You know, they're going to try and push new things in, so they're going to be a regular move to this, to a release schedule. Is a date release schedule is fantastic.
The only thing with that is they did really kind of say, wasn't that what 3.0 and 3.1 and stuff was meant to be anyway?
The difference with it now is they've got the Delta Patcher, so that makes a big difference.
Yes, I know, but that is kind
of... They've said that we'll release whatever is finished. This is the point. With the
Which
Delta
is
Patcher,
what we've been saying they should have done
whatever,
for a long time.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Now they've got the Delta Patcher.
Wait and see. I hope that he keeps to that, because I think that makes much more sense. Just say, right, well, we're at this point at this time in the month. Not that time in a month. This time in a month. And like, if it's done, push it out. If not, but he did say that last time. He said, we're just going to do what's done and push it out, and then we'll move on from it. So I'm not like holding my breath on it, but I do hope that's with the Delta Patcher. That's probably what that's been holding them back from doing that maybe in the past anyway. Getting this Delta Patcher.
Such a big ego and such a big mouth that he can't even fit that piece of cake in.
Well, yeah, ignoring the cake, but what's good is it puts a lot of, not good for us. It's not good for the developers, bless you guys, because it puts you guys back under a lot of pressure in terms of delivering for timeframes and timelines. You're much more held accountable as developers to obviously trying to hit these things. But he did kind of give him the get out clauses. At the end of the day, if it's not ready, it won't be in this quarterly patch. It will move to the next one. But what it does mean is things are finished early and things are ready, that we'll get them. We'll get it early. And it might be a case of some things that maybe were going to be in the previous patch will get pushed forward because they're ready and they'll go into the first quarter and vice versa. So this is great because it means we're no longer going to have a 12-month drought period of nothing new. They clearly recognize they can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
They have to deliver stuff for us at least 6 months. You can't have a year of nothing but the same content. You just can't. It just dries up the streaming channels. It dries up the ability for it just can't happen again. So.
It was nice that he'd kind of acknowledged that as well, because sometimes nice. I think that's part of the problem with CIGs. They don't. We all know these things are happening and they don't acknowledge it, even though we get that he's making his game and he's doing it to his own pace. But realistically, we're all screaming at them saying, why isn't this here? So it was kind of nice that he said, no. He goes, even though you had 2.6.3, he said you really had no new content 2.6. So yeah, it was kind of nice that I think he acknowledged that we're all like desperate to get some new content.
I got something to add to what Madness said though, and I think if you, Madness, for example, your boss is going to say to you, you need to make 6 different pairs of shoes and I need them in 12 months. Or the boss is going to say to you, I need 2 pairs of shoes every 3 months. It's much better manageable to get you to make 2 pairs of shoes every 3 months, because you're a lot more on the ballpark, I think, and you have a lot more chance to correct things, I think, when you do quarterly patches. You know what I mean?
I can only speak as a designer, but if you give a designer 6 months, he'll still manage to find his way in the last month, working the last month harder than he worked the first fucking 5 months, because designers we love to
but
be
that's
creative
what I mean.
And think and design.
But
and,
I mean, like,
whereas if you have a constant tight timeline, you're always having to be on it. I mean, granted, you can burn out. You have to be careful for burning out staff for sure. But what it does mean is that there's just no messing around. You just cut, clean, move on, cut, clean. And I think the reality is they're in a situation that seems to be where they've got a lot of the pipelines really nicely laid out. All the ship
from
part,
a management perspective is better. I think from management perspective it's a lot better for them. To have those. I see it as a perfectly good thing.
I agree with Miz. It's all talk until it's delivered at the end of the day. So we'll wait and see. Definitely. But that for me was a highlight in terms of that was for me was a really good highlight, because we need more content consistently. So that was all the other stuff is amazing.
Exciting thing?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
That was the most exciting thing for me, because I was like, yay. Sounds silly, but there was a lot of other things were amazing. But that was fantastic.
I think I was very excited from my perspective. Consolidated Outland Pioneer. I think they said game changer. I don't know if it's a game changer. I don't see that, but it's definitely going to make for some interesting gameplay in all aspects, not only base building, but also it's going to be a big target for PvPing. It's going to be a big money source for people that are going to protect it. There's going to be a whole gameplay around it, and I think price-wise, you might get your bang for buck with the money that you're going to make in game. You know what I mean? It's going to be a massive operation. You know, it's not only that ship that is going to matter. It's everything around it that's going to matter. Planet side, space side. It is a big thing. Not to now call it a game changer. I think that's
I mean, they kind of backed out of that at one point.
Yeah.
I think right near the end, I think Lando and Ben were talking about something. They said, well, it's not so much a game changer as a game advancer or something.
Advancer, yeah, I think that's a better word.
Backed up his own ass after fucking drumming it up as a game changer for so long.
But it's a complete new job created, which adds all existing jobs to it by piracy. What were we using again? How you call it? Private military companies. You know what I mean? Mercenaries. That, you know, it brings a lot of things together, which I think is really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, it brings tons. I'm curious to know what its defenses are, because if it's got pants defenses, it's going to
need 3 turrets and
it's going to need heavy protection. So you know, it's a big ship, huge target for people to come and rob. So you're going to want to, if you're running, it's an orc ship, no question.
It's an orc ship.
Even though with the small, I was very surprised with the number of people minimum. It's
imagine
like
the orgies that you can have on that ship.
Minimum to run it. I think that's obviously to be probably not that efficient. You probably was it 8 or 6 to run it efficiently?
4 minimum crew, 8 maximum crew.
8 was the maximum crew, which would be to run it efficiently. So say 8 people running it efficiently. That's still quite a small number of people for such a massive ship. You saw it next to a caterpillar. But yeah, I agree with you. So I think it's a very exciting ship. Very exciting. And the advert, which we'll watch videos again. Actually, I'm not going to lie, I had a tear.
It is a goal for me to build in game. It's not something that I would buy with real money, but it's definitely something to work towards in the game. You know what I mean? It's one of those ships that if you have everything, you can add that to it as well. You know what I mean? If you're like a bit of a completionist and you want a lot of stuff and you like to grind stuff together, it's definitely something to work towards too. Shame that it doesn't have a bay. That's the only minus thing that I want to add. Sorry, there's no fighter bay on it, so there's only a landing pad on it.
I think it's a good thing. Like you said, it creates more gameplay for it.
Yeah, true, but it would be nice to store something. You know, I like my ship to be a complete thing where I store everything. So, but that's a game choice that probably was needed as well. Otherwise,
who knows?
It's very overpowered. You know?
Who knows? Maybe you make that suggestion on Spectrum. They might think about it and put in a little ship like a Merlin and stick it in the back.
You can help me out because I'm not good at that Reddit and Spectrum stuff. I'll inform you and you can help me out with that. It's a good activity to do together so we can bond a bit again. You know,
it's definitely good stuff. It's good stuff. The Miz, how about you, mate? You were there. You saw it all live. You were there. You engaged. What was the highlight of CitizenCon? I think you kind of.
It was the fappening for me.
It was the talking. It was the talking. But in terms of the actual event, what they delivered to show you, rather than the individual, because I know probably it would be the people, because that is awesome. But in terms of what they delivered to you, what was
from them? I think from all the presentations and things, probably the tools, seeing all the tools, basically the tool sets, because for ages now we've been going on about people saying, what are they doing? Why aren't we seeing any progress? And like I talked to Brian, I don't think it was last CitizenCon, but the one before, when we talked about the planetary tech tools, and he was saying that they were working on the tool set so that anybody can use them. And then it was like a whole year, and we saw obviously it working at Gamescom or CitizenCon, one of the two, where they showed a preview of it. And then to see this, where they've now got the city tools in there. We're seeing the animation one on one of the panels, the texture tools for the planetary tech as well. Because I used a bit of Shadow Painter working on my bot, so I kind of understood the different layers and systems. So I think this is what they've been working a shit ton on that doesn't show any progress to other people up front. It's all technical behind the scenes. It's getting all the numbers right, making sure that they can procedurally or work on stuff really quickly, and then you're seeing them build a city in like 30 seconds. It's crazy fucking numbers, and I think when they get all these tool sets all done, and it's basically what we're saying is that people that don't need specialist people to work and create these cities, because they'll be able to just jump in and almost like an easy to use tool set that anybody can then come and jump on and start building the cities for ArcCorp or building another city. And don't forget, this is like especially for the cities as one example, this is a basic way for them to lay a city down. That doesn't mean they just put the city down and leave it. It means that they can then do that, and then they can go back and customize it. They can allow rooms to open up. They can change the designs. This is just the start, but it will speed up development and everything. And so yeah, to me, seeing those tool sets was probably the biggest highlight, at least. I know we haven't gone through all that yet anyway.
No, we're gonna go through it. I just wanted to find out what everyone's highlight was, so when it comes up, you guys could just check. We will know, and we'll be like, oh, what do you think? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and so I mean, one of the things I was probably more desperate to see next after that, because I think that was like the biggest reveal of what they've all been working on. It is just, and this is probably the same for you, man. It's because this is what you've been going on for a long time. Is just mechanics. Yeah, I want to finally now we've got all this. I want to see some mechanics working. I want to see some spaceship working. I want to see trading and the cargo and the mining. It's all way making it pretty.
That's what I'm.
This is just saying. This is what this is the next stuff I'm looking forward to. Is what I really would like to see now. Is going forward. Is I would love to see some mechanics being done. Or being seen.
And I think that this is there was something somebody said to me. I'm not. They said that the only negative thing that this person, and we're not going to name the person's name, DM, whatever his name is, the DS, whatever the fucking dude's name is. Okay, his only comments about the presentation were watching an aurora flying in low frames over something else, talking about blah blah blah. And for me, I was super excited because those are the only two things that he complained about and could actually talk about. That means that he's clearly dying a death in terms of finding bad things to say about this game now. The truth of the matter is if that's your only two things, it's like a bit of a bad frames. We all know anyone knows anything about technology, okay? Technology gets better all the time. So bad frames mean
like
nothing.
Bad frames to me.
And they didn't look exactly. If you're talking about a bit of lagging, I'm like, dude, it's a
fucking
procedural city the size of a planet, and he had
the same man as we've been talking about a while back. This man died a long time ago already.
But what I'm saying is that he's if you think about negativity and you think about
that's not hard. Negative, that's not hard, I tell you.
That was nothing. I just want to bring it because I want to say there was nothing there. If that's your main argument about one of the things, there's nothing because technology gets better all the time and it will be improved. Yeah. And the other thing was if you can't see the potential, like the world, if you can't look past the Aurora ship flying over a planet and see the whole fucking planet and see the potential that there's potential gameplay and things like that, then I'm sorry, you're blind as fuck.
I mean, the funny thing is that one of the hardest, when they started showing this procedural planet, and obviously ArcCorp was talked about being a full citied planet right from the start, before I think even Planetary Tech was involved. And that was one of my things. I'm thinking, how the fuck are they going to make? Like, I mean, these planets are fucking big. Yeah. How are they going to make a whole planet, all cities? Yeah. And then they just go and bam, show you that at CitizenCon, and it's like, fuck, they've done it. It's like they've done it. It's not that it's easily feasible when you see that. Yes, you're not going to explore every interior building and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. The fact that they can cover the whole planet, it looks different. It looks exciting. It's
I will talk about it. I mean, I'm kind of feeling that we should talk about it, but we'll talk about it again later. But for me, it was mind blowing. I've already seen lots of people who kind of weren't really big fat, who were doubters, kind of see that video and just go, "Holy shit, it's happening!" And for me, I just see it and I go, "The dream." It's every year. Last year we saw the procedural planets, which I thought were amazing. This time we've seen procedural cities, which are amazing. This is the foundations. This is like the big brushstrokes of creating the world, and they're making it look fucking seems to be really easy. It's not, but it looks fucking easy because this shit should have been taken years and years.
Tools now,
and they seem to have already like it's unbelievable how good the guy forget the is it Marco? No. The one that Chris gave at the end, like him, like to come up with that procedural coding and the way he did that, and then all the other teams. Oh, it's just unbelievable. I couldn't have any higher praise for what the CIG guys have done.
That's what I'm saying.
They spend a lot of time on making these tools.
Yeah.
But it's all paying back, and it started already. You know, it's already starting to pay back.
I mean, so these tools, what these tools are allowing to do. So to put it in a more easier term, so like I've done like a tiny bit of 3D modeling with my Mizbot, and I'm crap at it, right? Okay, so it's all self-taught. Now to texture that and make it look like it. So I've done some work on making it look rusty or making it look like shiny and new. For me to try and work out how to map that out, paint different layers, make it look rusty would take me ages and probably wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah, I took this over to Substance Painter, which is what Star Citizen use, and you can literally just go, right, I want to do an intelligent map over the top of it as a rust, define a couple of edges, press the button, and boom, the bot was covered in rust, scratches, and everything else. And that I don't even know how long that would take for me to do manually if I tried to do all that work and try and make my own bot look rusty.
Has the bot gone through a bit of a rough patch? Yeah?
Right.
He has gone through a few crashes too many.
As we're talking about it, I'm bringing up the video, boys, and we can just go straight.
And so this is what I mean by like with their planetary check. It's going to allow someone that's not necessarily that knowledgeable about layering stuff up and things like that, literally going to be able to go there and start building cities without having to learn too much about it.
Yeah. The Terrapin looks sick, by the way.
Sorry, say that again?
The Terrapin. Sorry, I was what not to do in a podcast. I'm sorry, but I'm really hungry. The Terrapin looks amazing.
Man, it doesn't matter. I just grabbed this cheese splatter, man.
I was like, literally I didn't know what to think of the Terrapin. I wasn't really a big fan of it, but every time I see iteration after iteration of it, it's more and more sexy. It's something about it's like I said, it feels really cool.
There's something about it.
The new Aurora looks great as well.
So when I saw the Terrapin there, I was like, you know what? That's like being a nice, heavy, protected ship, being just a little bit safe in it for doing some smaller jobs. I was like, that's quite appealing.
I want to see more inside.
It's definitely going to be a little, and I think you mentioned it before, Miss. Your little Winnebago kind of thingy. I think that would really fit such a description. You know, very powerful ship though. It's a great scout. You know. And that's what Madness says. It becomes more appealing every time. And I've thought about, you know, I mentioned it to Madness recently. I want to get rid of my Sabre, as I'm probably not going to use it as much as I did now because the only thing we could do is dogfighting. And it's definitely something on the list to replace the Raven, you know. So it's definitely something on my mind. And it's what Madness says. It gets more appealing every time. I don't
know. It's just got this really industrial kind of. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. You know the bit where Chris says that they shouldn't do it so that you fly close to people. No, I disagree completely. I want him to still keep this. You need this. Just flying above the city is going to be wonderful, but I really love this. Just make it so that it has an automatic. If you get too close, close to shit, autopilot takes over and stops you from crashing into anything. And keeps you at slow speed.
They did say a while back that I think his first idea was there's going to be lanes, and if you stray from that lane, it'll like magically grab you, autopilot, bring you back into the lane. Now, there's no reason why they couldn't have those lanes going close to buildings and like through the streets like they were doing there. And I agree that it needs to have that because that's that whole, like you said, the Blade Runner, sci-fi-esque,
Fifth Element. Fifth Element.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kind of get in close. Cool. Look at that. I mean, it's just like, honestly.
I was just watching that and I was just, I was looking and going, fuck, this is so amazing. So amazing. It really was.
And the trails look great. I mean, the trails are cool. I don't necessarily.
Congestion charge for coming in with a Banner Merchantman there.
I thought the trails
probably fucking London congestion charges.
the trails seemed a bit over the top for when you were going at that speed. I didn't think the trail should have been running at that speed. He's going so slow. I was curious why.
How slow was he going?
Well,
you don't know.
Was doing 130. 130. Well, now
that's top speed for that, isn't it? So
I don't know. Maybe you're right.
It's probably a little bit too much.
It felt like it was a bit OP.
The other ships weren't doing it, but again, it's like a little balance thing, isn't it? It's,
coming back to what Detox says in chat there. Do you guys expect a free? I think a free sale maybe around 3.0 to make people like say,
a free flight or a free sale.
A free flight, sorry.
I put the question in for later. I put the question in for later, Saul. But we can go with it now. It's fine. It's not a problem. I would would imagine that. But why wouldn't you want to put a free flight in for 3.0?
Flea fly.
People can immediately eat from the fruit, and then you have
There's
eaten the
normally
fruit
a
and you
free
want that.
fly. I'm surprised there wasn't around this actually, but there is normally around the holiday live stream. I think they have a
Because
free
there's no
fly.
new content to play on. It's still 2.6. So until we get
when 3.0 comes out,
there will
you can almost guarantee there'll be a free fly.
I got a question for you guys. Didn't we last year with CitizenCon have a lot of ship sales and different ones on different days and
There's a holiday sale coming up as well.
Is that the
yes,
holiday
yeah.
one? Yeah.
There's something in November which I think is the anniversary sale, and then they have the or holiday sale, one of the two, and then they have the anniversary live stream.
Yeah. Because I really want to get my hands on some new ships there.
And Detox is right. I don't know how the stream looked because obviously I was there, but that having this, I mean, I was lucky. I got the row at the top to watch this presentation, and so I was bang in the middle. And that having this on the large screen with all the detail, it felt like I was actually flying the freaking Aurora. It was absolutely amazing. The detail there when it was large screen was phenomenal.
The cinematography of this, like, I was thinking about this in terms of that we're talking about mechanics, and do you know what? When I see this, like I said, it's in terms of big brush strokes of a game. They're kind of hitting the big brush strokes, and then the dirty mechanics will start to come in later. So this whole, at the end of the day, we just saw a ship flying over a very beautiful spaceship. That's very city. That's fantastic for me because I know that if they can do this, the mechanics of building the animations, I'm pretty sure they can do as well, no problem. So we've seen some of it already. So I am so ecstatic.
This city is fucking huge, though.
I'm so ecstatic.
I wonder,
and they're going to get better. It's going to get better, Soul. The thing is, this is going to get even more variety.
It's not a negative thing. I'm being positive here. It's I love it. You know.
I
wonder in how many areas. I think most of this we're not going to be able to enter. Right. We're only going to be able to see. Right.
Yeah.
There will only be certain areas that are,
from what I understand, hang on, there was a link, and I have it. I did have it, but I did bring it up. I think Sean Tracy talked about this. I don't think you're going to go into every single one of these buildings. I would be very surprised if you could get into all of them.
They've already confirmed that you won't be able to.
No, I think
it's just unfeasible. Like I think one of the quotes was, even if you had all the interiors loaded out, it would take you more than your lifetime to go in and out all of these interiors. Yeah. So there's no point.
I think
allowing them all to be open. So what they'll do is they'll have like missions to go to certain buildings, and then that building may be open and things like that.
I hope that they do it so that you can go to the mission buildings that you talked about, Miz, that you can walk around open kind of like city areas like ArtCorp that we did already, and you can have a wander around and outside all of this. You could potentially walk around outside all of it. I also think they should do it so if you buy either apartments or you buy tower blocks, obviously you can go to them, and obviously your mates can come and stay and hang out in your apartment or whatever and just chill and stuff.
That's good.
I hope you can actually physically buy a tower or whatever, depending on how much money you have, either an apartment or a tower, and you can have your own, like, because they've obviously got landing bays and stuff, so you can land your ship and potentially have hangars in here, so you can store ships and stuff in the cities. Would be just fantastic.
That's my thing, man. A player housing.
Yeah.
And rent. I would love to be able to also, for me, because I loved, remember Assassin's Creed, where you could build your own, you could buy a lot of the businesses and shops and stuff, and then you'd make income from that. I don't know, they might not do that because obviously they want you to make money from actually physically having to do stuff rather than other things doing things. But I would do like the idea of buying property, renting property in space stations like this to be able to generate income when I'm fast asleep and stuff, and to keep me, it costs you money and stuff, but it'd be kind of cool. But I don't think they'll do that, but it would be nice if they did.
I think with ArtCorp, they kind of a little bit shot themselves in the foot with, like, say, the designing person's point of view when they said, let's have a whole planet as a cityscape. Because obviously trying to map that out and then do all the interiors for that is just impossible. Well, no, it's not impossible. And over time, they may well flesh it out, but it's kind of pointless because you just get lost in it. But I do think or hope for smaller cities, when we have different landing places and different planets, that they will open the majority of it up, and they will progressively open all the interiors up because it's much more manageable to have a smaller city, like say GTA size maps where you can go inside them and into the buildings and like we just said, like hire them, buy them, own them, do jobs from them, whatever. I definitely think that's something they could do with smaller cities. Not probably going to happen on ArtCorp, but even with time, they can open up more and more as they see fit, really.
Maybe a lot of that might be because of obviously we now with the obviously the Pioneer, the ability obviously for players to build towns and cities and things like that of a certain scale.
you know, those will be those areas where you could potentially go and steal shit from. You know, that's where you can go and rob and attack or whatever and steal stuff, as well as, you know, like you say, small NPC built cities, which would be kind of cool. But look at the scale. I mean, the scale is mind fucking
you just keep
blowing.
looking at it and it's just like, oh,
That's a fucking game. That's what I can't get over. It's procedurally generated, and you can go down to that fucking tiny piece in the corner over there.
That's the bit that's hardest to think of. Is every dot in there? You can fly down to and it's actually
YouTube monetizing gone.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but just I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's just like, what? Like, it just blows your mind. I can't even begin to understand, and it's just.
Well, you are slightly beginning to understand what the scale of it is, I think.
Oh no, well, this is it. You are starting. Yeah, we are seeing the scale. We're seeing the ambition. You know, we're seeing, and the great thing is that every time they seem to get the frames really good, they'd say, "Oh, do you know what? Fuck it, let's chuck another 20,000 things in here to bring the frames back down to 20." So we have to work harder. 2.0. So we have to work even harder again to get to the next 60 frames. You know, it's like they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And I have a picture, which I'm going to try and bring up whilst we're looking at this, from my Discord, which people I think will probably chuckle at, which I think is quite funny. It's not Mac with his Charlie.
It's nothing to do with you winning some kind of championship.
It's nothing to do with me winning. It's to do with just comparing. That on the top there is No Man's Sky.
And
that is Star Citizen. And I love No Man's Sky. But this just shows you what a bigger budget, bigger ambition, and a hard ass to create. There's no comparison. Holy mother fuck. That's crazy.
You can't even take the two. You can almost, it's at the point where you can't even compare them now. It's
amazing.
It's like comparing pineapples with pears. You know what I mean?
You should know. Tropical surprise.
He should do. But I like to compare because they're both procedurally generated.
Oh no, I definitely agree.
Of their time.
Hey,
there's a lot of people talking.
I find
Look at
this
This is
fucking
sick.
sexy.
How cool is this?
I find this fucking sexy.
That's
Hang on.
They've come a long way even from what they've shown us before. And I suppose even if it's just, I don't know, just adding the billboards and shit, it just makes it feel alive. It just makes it. I mean, it's not much different to probably what we've got now in the repair stations, but
mate, it's so much different though. It's so much different. It's not much different, but it's so much different in visual perspective. I think this is something that Madness mentioned a while back. This is going to feel very lively now, you know. And I think after a trade or after a big, you've gone through a rough patch of space where the chance of interdiction is really big. This is a happy sight to come to, you know what I mean? And just drop down your ship, go for a pee and a poop, come back, you know what I mean?
Do you know what's amazing? Do you know what's amazing about this all? That Sierra Hotel, you know, with the black light is going to be bad. You don't want to go to the Madness's room with a black light after that room. I'm telling you, waterbed action. That Sierra Hotel is. Look at it. There is no hotel There's no hotel. There's no hotel advertised with that type of palm trees and pink and shit. That is seedy. I guarantee it. That is dirty.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's not a clean hotel. That's a dirty hotel.
I don't mind a fucking dirty hotel.
That's got. You put a couple dollars into your UACs, into a machine, and it makes the bed shake. You know?
Yeah, but it's a welcome sight. You know what I mean? Like it's just
oh yeah, it'd be a welcome sight, all right.
Oh yes, you'd be like that. Oh, here we go, boys. Good night. Good night's rest coming
just
up.
Do that. You're all ready for it. Come on then. Stop. Get it over with.
Oh my days.
Now I get this vision again of biomechanical in this Roman suit with this pole with the.
Oh my god, love it. But you're right though. It's 100%. Well. This is what it's about. It's about adding those details. It's about adding that just excitement. Again, that visual excitement that just gets you going. Like, oh wow!
And that
look at
fucking
that
moment when he turns around and looks at the planet. Oh my fucking god!
Yep,
that's crazy.
Yep. I mean, I missed this initially, and I watched this back later, and I was like, holy.
Still find it so difficult to get your head around that each one of those is a building, not just a picture of it.
I'm just going to pause it there.
Fucking amazing.
I
think this has been a GIF that I've seen on Twitter a lot, and I think this is probably one of the most mind-blowing. We'll skip that bit. This is the bit that retweeting and just going, "Wow, that was it."
What was blown there?
Something was being blown
Stuff
at the
got
Sierra
blown.
Hotel. Something was being
Stuff got
blown at the
blown
Sierra Hotel.
At that point.
Listen,
Boats were blown.
has you
Mines
been
were
dirty
blown.
with Rythias? Is that what it is? Is
Something like that, yeah. Right, it's got warm.
Oh.
I just think that but I was interesting as well, like the satellites, and I was like, obviously this is the gates for coming in to land. I'm guessing. I was thinking, you know, people talk about these gates for coming in. I wonder if that's just a visual cue for the pilot to know where to fucking go, so he knew where to fly. Could you imagine, like, if you didn't have those like where to go to remember, if you were trying to do this as a demo, like you take off and you're kind of going, well, I need to go to, they're going to have the best GPS system ever invented for these spaceships to get you down to some of these locations on like planets, like obviously the beacons and stuff, you know, it's going to be, I mean,
this may well be something that they add anyway, because like when you come up to like the Commodore, well, not the Commodore so much, but like the Cryastros, I always come in and go, well, where the fuck is the landing pads? Like if you come in at the wrong angle. So if you see them coming out, you'll know to kind of swing around and fly in that way, because you're also now going to have this air traffic control where you've got to ask for permission, and if it's full you're going to have to wait in line and stuff. That may well be trying to usher you into that, so that you can, you know, come round and land in you know, and wait in line basically for it.
This was interesting. I heard there was a few salty comments saying that the gravity didn't make sense, that he should have been falling to the planet. He looked similar height to when Gamble and stuff, and I was a bit like, well, Chris said that gravity's dependent. There's different gravity on this planet, and it's light. And I was like, that's good enough for me. What's everyone like?
But this space station. It's not an atmosphere anyway, so why would you fall to the Earth?
Well, that's what I was like. I was like, he's in a space. That's what I said. I thought as well. I was like, it was a space station's hovering above, unless it's in
measuring stick to make sure it was the same distance as Gamble was. I mean, how can you look at that and go, well, that's the fucking same distance that Gamble fell to us?
I was the same. I was like, oh, come on. People just finding something to be salty about. Even I, who am supposedly Mr.
King of Salt. I mean, we got King of Salt here, and I haven't had any.
I had very minimal salt, like pretty much non-existent. It was drier than the Sahara for salt. Yeah, it was. So, but this was cool. I like. Okay, I'm going to criticize the NPCs. You could clearly see that they need a lot of work on their crowd system still. Which again, we talk about mechanics. But again, I'm not bothered. It's going to come. The fact they can make these worlds, it's going to happen. They know. You know, like Chris Hand in the air.
Would say,
we fucking know it needs to be fixed. We're not stupid, but we're showing you this right now because look at it. It's amazing. But yeah, the NPC stuff that they're going to do later, it's going to look great.
I definitely liked the little Welsh twang that you had when you said anyway, by the way. I love that.
What Welsh twang?
Yeah. You did a little bit of a singing anyway there. Anyway.
I just can't. I can't. I'm honestly, I mean, we all know I'm a dogfighter, but I'm looking forward to just doing a little bit of... I can't wait for this.
Cake in your mouth again? Is that what it is?
I'm hungry. Look at that. It's nearly finished. That's all we got left.
Fucking professionals here. I don't know why I bother.
We should call ourselves the unprofessionals.
It's all, you know, we're all part of...
We're all part of it.
It's all about making everybody comfortable. Everyone needs to feel comfortable.
Yeah, grab yourself some cake, everybody.
Grab yourself
Sit
some
down.
cake. Here you go.
Menace.
Wipe your face. You guys.
Wipe your face. There you go.
There we go. Crumbs are off.
Oh, yeah, he forgets afterwards every time.
You don't want righties.
Since when are we professional? This is not professional. There's nothing professional here. We do this for the love of it. And you guys hang out with us for the love of it. That's what it's all about.
The love.
For the love. But no, I mean, a lot of people have said the same things. I mean, it looks stunning.
It looks great.
You just I need to get my hands on it. I want to get my hands on it. I want to fly in the city. I want to see what the other cities are going to... Can you imagine? Like, this is just one planet. This is one planet. One city. You wait till we get Microtech. Wait till we get the Xion. Wait till we get the Vandals' home planet.
I think this was a big problem for them now, though, like I said before, because the whole planet was a city. I think this is one of the hardest ones for them to tackle. I think from then on, just building smaller cities within planets would be a lot easier for them. I think this is the the baseline of it
Look
all.
at the horizon of the Earth, the way that the shading, the gradient between the planet and the colouring. And this is like the dirty one, like they said. This is like China, basically. It's where they haven't really looked after the planet that well. Or Earth that's been kind of trashed, like in The Expanse, you know? They kind of not looked
That
after
planet,
it.
is it the gas giant where they showed the floating,
my God, look at the particles.
the floating city? Oh yeah, the particles on the jump. I know.
Oh my days! Here it comes.
You had a lot of fun with Rythius, had you? Because he cannot stop about it.
Look at the.
What happened there,
particles.
Miss?
What are you talking about?
What happened there?
It was magical.
You're winding him up. That's why.
It's a magical
You're flirting with him. Just
did he say to you,
Look
"Come
at
here,
that. Look at that.
come here, my friend. We are in Germany now."
My days.
So what do you guys think of the new quantum jump?
Oh well, you've seen my orgasmic response, so that kind of says everything. It is wonderful. Like
You dirty man.
the particle effects are beautiful. I know that obviously, if I can get make Mac with the Harry Potter gear and the glasses and the full wizard outfit, that is literally magic coming
You
out.
want to
of that
flying
movie.
on a broom as well.
Flying around with Mac's face, with
Magic
glasses
coming
on.
out its ass.
Magic coming
was,
out all over it. Magic all
Sound
over it.
effects was like really nice as well.
Oh, do you want me to bring the sound effects out? Let's go back. Let's bring the sound up. Let's go back.
Where's
Let's just
the
watch
sound?
Well, the actual sound effects of the Aurora just sounded like a lot better.
Here we go. Crank it up. You probably can't hear it, boys.
Karin says, dude, imagine a battle with 500
So as you
players.
can see,
barely
we've
get 24
upgraded
ones,
the,
actually. I want to see that happen
the
first.
whole sort of jump effects and everything.
I would be happy with
using
50
the
players
GPU
having a
particle
battle, or
systems coming in
75
from
to be honest, at
3.0.
this
Yeah,
point.
again, yeah,
I don't know
another
how you
thing to be
guys
bad.
feel
We
about
should.
that, but 500 is very optimistic.
One day.
Yeah.
Question, isn't it?
There you go, just delay. It's a question. Yeah, the sound does sound good. It does sound good.
Oh, sorry, was I?
The new
moaning over
Quantum
the
is
sound?
gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. My God. Right. What else is there? There's so much to talk about. It's like crazy stuff.
It's maybe that's so many good stuff.
I was exhausted actually when I watched this.
What do you think of the 8-minute jump?
Excited. Oh, the 8-minute jump.
I think it's well. I'm used to Hallian, yeah, and I remember he's just not going to listen, is he? You sit down and put that headset on.
You go. You go.
We'll discuss it, Manus.
You go.
So we play. I don't know. You played Hallian with us a little bit as well.
Briefly,
with
yeah.
Rones and myself, and you were looking at jumps of 45 minutes there, where you literally couldn't go and make some dinner. You know what I mean? So I don't mind that either. I'm easygoing though when it comes to that. I think it makes some parts of space a bit more exclusive, you know what I mean? And you won't have these crazy hotspots where everyone can just jump from here to there, you know what I mean?
I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this again. I can't
Beautiful,
stop
right?
looking. I can't stop looking at the Moby glasses.
So I'm a bit in the middle. So 8 minutes is the maximum jump time, right? Or
well, I don't know if what's going to be the max. I imagine at the moment maybe that's the longest that there is.
because we
Maybe it
only
could be
have
10
one.
minutes, could be 20
Because we only
minutes
have
for
one
later.
solar system.
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
one?
I mean,
yeah.
8 minutes for me seems. I don't know. It's like until I play it.
It's short,
Maybe
though. It's not long.
Maybe you can.
8 minutes is this madness, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It depends how much time. It depends on the missions that you're having to do and how many times you're going to have to repeat that. You know what I mean?
You know, 8 minutes is me having a poo-poo on a bad day. You know what I mean? It's like
a bad day. But you know, if it depends. Like, I look at this. Oh my God! But I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of tweaking on this. We're going to increase some speeds. Maybe you can upgrade your ship so you can reduce it. Certain ships you'll be able to do. Maybe you could cut it into 4 minutes with a Herald, but you can only do it in 8 minutes.
Quick question.
With a big
I
transport
don't want to
ship.
interrupt you, Madness. Do you think that these are the fly-in lanes into the planets?
I was just saying earlier, Saul,
Yeah.
if you were actually listening, I was saying that
No,
is.
I don't always listen to you.
That's fine. It could be to do with for him,
No,
so that he
girls.
knows where he's going.
Yeah.
For the
But
demo.
do you think those are the? Do you think that in the future game that we will have certain points where we can enter the planet and that they will be marked like that? For example, one planet has 10 points to enter, or do you think we're going to be able to enter anywhere?
I want to be able to enter anywhere, personally. I always like to be able to enter anywhere. That's something that's just my personal preference for everything.
Do you think this is more for scenery?
I don't want to be limited to my entries. It's got to be
I know you don't want to be limited by your entries, buddy.
You know, it's got to be everywhere or nowhere. But I think that they do need to have some sort of... There needs to be some sort of guide somewhere. So I think they're probably playing with some stuff. There's got to be, at the end of the day, there's got to be satellites and shit in space. So maybe for entering into atmosphere, you have to come through, you know, at the end of the day, an atmosphere as well, isn't it? Like NASA, you have to come in at a specific trajectory, because if you come in at a bad angle or whatever, your ship can be burnt up or deflect off the atmosphere and ping off. You know, you have to come in at a certain angle. So potentially, maybe, you know, these are the ports, these are the points where you can enter the atmosphere, and then after that, once you're through the atmosphere, you can then go anywhere on the planet. So yeah, maybe
overall you're gonna be able to come in anywhere.
I hope you can come in anywhere.
That was always
a complete dirty mind at the moment because of Rypheus now. Complete dirty mind.
I don't really like the Moby Glass as a way to navigate jumps. I really don't like the Moby Glass.
They've said that most things you're going to be able to put to like a hotkey. So I imagine, and especially from feedback wise, if you want just a direct access to the Moby Glass, it'll probably be some way to hotkey that. And also, especially if you start using things like voice attack, you'll be able to say, you know, call it up or something.
I mean, maybe you can have the Moby Glass on one of the screens. Maybe you'll be able to do things on the screen.
Yeah, I mean,
always on your arms, because at the end of the day, I can understand it being a bit strange. You're flying along with dual sticks, and then all of a sudden I need to go here, so I have to stick my arm in the air. It might be a bit more sense to be once you're in the ship. It becomes part of the ship.
I mean, didn't the first iteration that we saw wasn't the freelancer one on? Yeah. It was actually on the ship, and hopefully that's what we'll, I think, get for all of them in the end. Something in the ship, because it does seem a little bit odd to bring your arm around and use your Moby Glass while sitting down in your ship when your ship could do the same
adverts. Don't look on your Moby Glass while driving.
I mean, it could be a case. Yeah, exactly. But it could be a case of, you know, you can program the ship from your arm before you even get into the cockpit, and then, you know, it takes you. And at the end of the day, this is still the first iteration of the Moby Glass in its current format.
Yeah,
and the stuff that you got, you know.
But look at this, guys. Look at
tweaks. Look at, the water. The water is much improved. The reflection, the way that they've got the rippling going on. I mean, that was one of my big things when we saw it last year. Was the water just looked like solid, kind of looked really unattractive.
I can't wait to put my Banner Merchantman in there.
Water is quite tricky to do. So it's like all these subtleties, like fire, water, and the elements. It's always tricky to get them to look authentic. So it looks much more improved.
Keep your Banner Merchant in some way safe.
What's this?
And I love
you're wearing protection.
It's just,
you're a dirty man. You see what I mean? Everyone has this dirty mind at the moment. It's not good.
No, I don't know what I mean. You want it to sink. That's all I meant.
I think they should be waterproof, right?
Possibly.
We'll put one of these. We'll put one of these layers around it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean.
By the way, guys, if he has to say, if we had to drink, if I had to drink every time you say "know what I mean," I would be on my ass.
You would be pissed drunk.
Pissed drunk by now.
You know what I mean.
But are you mocking the immigrant again? Is that what it is?
No, we never do such a thing.
Yeah.
He's pulling the immigrant card out again.
I was surprised that they didn't. I'm going to be honest. I'm surprised that they didn't choose another ship for the second part of this presentation, because he had the remember, if you think of the last one,
the Raven.
They did the Aquila, then they did the Ursa, then they did the Nox.
This one has the best view, obviously. This one has the best view, obviously.
And then this one, they just did the Aurora, and I was surprised that they didn't do the Cutlass. They didn't do, some other potential future ships. I was quite surprised. They didn't do the Sabre.
I think it's the view. The view from the cockpit on this one is very open and wide. So it might be.
If you wanted a good view, I know why they did, because it's the newer ship, so it's fine. I was surprised that they didn't do.
We know the rest is coming anyway, Maddie. You know.
Part of the reason is because it's slow as well.
Okay. So you get
it's slow. It's reasonably easy to maneuver without too much trouble.
They didn't do the Mustang because they're redesigning the Mustang, so I guess they haven't finished it. So otherwise, that would have been the logical choice in my opinion, because it's got an even better view than this one because it's all.
Oh yeah, if the Mustang was ready, I think there was a good chance they would have done that, but I don't think it's ready yet.
I was surprised they didn't take the X85 into the main city as well. I thought that would have been a pretty cool ship. It's got I think a fabulous view. It feels like it's just the right type of ship maybe to go zooming around ArcCorp in when you take off to jump into that 2-seater thing. But I understand it. The Aurora's new. It's a new skin, new update, everything. It makes sense. It's fine. But I just was surprised they didn't mix up some of the ships a little bit.
It's also probably ties in with the toilet advertising that was going on.
What?
Yes, the toilet. It was all to link up with the toilet. It was very cool.
Rightfully, what have you done to him?
So
was you not paying attention earlier? I took a picture in the toilet.
I know, off the Aurora advertisement with the $5 discount. Yeah. He's playing with you, man. Don't worry.
Doesn't play attention.
We need to get you back on track.
Back on track, all right.
Back on track with the boys.
Do you know what? I when I saw this bit here, the building, like on the left-hand side, again, I was expecting... I can't wait for them to show more, like, building animations and buildings doing different things and stuff, because at the moment, we've got our ships flying here and there. We've got a bit of smoke.
The building just sits there, man. It doesn't do different things.
No.
What fucking buildings do you go to?
No.
It's like,
I've seen Blade Runner. I've seen Blade Runner.
The next minute, it bends over and turns into a completely different building.
I've seen that pyramid when he opens up so that he gets the light in, and the building opens and it opens. I've seen those animations. I want to like that and the billboard signs. Can't wait.
My buildings to start rocking out as I fly past.
Spinning, turning. All that good
if you've got a room, I pay for a room for a fucking beautiful view, and then 2 minutes later it gets up and spins round, and then it's like on the basement or something. What the fuck?
Play fucking Daft Punk in the background.
That's what I'm talking about.
Around the world, around.
This place had reminded me of the Harkonnen kind of in June, kind of that.
Madness is waiting for this building to turn into a transformer to start firing off rockets into space.
Oh yeah, that would have been sick, man. Transformers. Yeah, that would have been cool. Unicron.
That would have been so wrong.
It would have been not fitted at all.
Unicorn.
Unicron. Oh, Jesus.
Unicorn, go.
Jesus Christ.
So did you notice the monorail in this
as
well?
Now, did you notice it moving? There it is. Look, can you see it moving on the right side? It actually
We're
works.
very early on one of the first
moving.
It works. There they are moving. I was like, well, look at that. It's moving. I watched it. I was like, they've got it moving. That's fantastic.
A freaking monorail and it's moving. How awesome is that?
And is there people on it?
I'm going to say something really strange here. I like the smoke effects of the industrial effects, the
flames coming out,
the smoke, the grim, you know what I mean, and it's the gritter. It really makes you feel. It's a really good atmosphere in this gameplay footage. Really great atmosphere. You know what I mean? Really good.
It definitely felt very industrial flying into that, and it was interesting. Like, although it was very similar in color tones, it still felt industrial compared to ArcCorp, which had all the fluorescent lights and everything else. So, yeah, you definitely felt a difference in the two places from it.
I love it, man. And one thing that I forgot to mention earlier, man, is in what you think, what is exciting, the flora fauna, man. That was something.
And there was the alien as well. Wasn't there a little alien creature in this as well, which we saw kind of flying at your screen and kind of like terrifying you, which was quite funny to watch it kind of like come at you.
But on the podcast every fucking Monday.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, true. But the ArcCorp did have a bluer sky for sure. I mean, this makes me think of like Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
A bit Fallout-ish, a bit radioactive kind of. Industrial, grim,
honestly, if anyone's been to China, if anyone's been to the industrial part of China, which I have when I was doing with shoes and stuff, I've been to Dongguan and Guangzhou and all these kind of heavy industrial kind of areas. No word of a lie, ignoring the fact that obviously the red sky, but it really smoggy and dirty, and you just feel covered in like really dirt and filthy, and I've been there, and it's quite an experience to be in a city where it's not clean at all.
Needs cleaning.
Not clean at all. Miz would have been out with a brush and like
I would
trying
have
to
come with
sweep
my
it out.
tropical surprise, man.
It was filthy, and when I see this, it feels very much like it. And like I said, it's got a Harkonnen, Mars, industrial.
This could be a place where
brilliantly
Drake
done.
makes his ships.
Brilliantly
This could
done.
be a place where Drake makes his ships.
The shit that the plants look like they're struggling to live, and I just love it. And I love when they show them the presentations on the panels and stuff. They talked about how they build the mood boards and they create it all based on lore and keep everything tidied up and they all make sense and stuff. So, but again, this is the scale. Like, he's flown over this fucking huge planet and he's just landed down here, and then he's like, can you imagine the Easter egg potential on this game?
I think the scale is the hardest thing to wrap your head around in this. It really is, because even when you see these big giant ships that were being issued, and you think, from a distance they just look like any other smaller freaking ship, and then you get underneath it and you're the size of a pea, and this thing's absolutely huge, and then they're flying that over to what looks like a normal city, but it's not until you actually get to ground level and you realise that the size of one building's like the size of a normal city in any other game. It's the scale is just absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, trying to find anybody in fucking ArcCore.
Well, this is it. This is the thing: is that the last of the major pieces of tech for me that needs to be conquered is the netcode, the ability to get thousands. If you can start to populate this world with us, and I'm telling you,
that'll be their eureka moment. I think when they get the netcode cracked, which they will. They will.
Yes, they will work their asses off. Even if it doesn't happen next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, all I look at it is that's time for them to optimize, improve, optimize, improve, optimize, improve. Just keep adding things to it as they work their asses off to try and figure out how to server mesh, whatever it's going to be, to get that netcode there. And along the way, they'll just keep adding more people. We'll go, 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, and then before you know it, it'll be some clever clogs will figure it out, and then boom, it'll be like 10,000, 20,000, and it'll be like, holy shit, it's happening, it's here, the dream is here, and planet, it's just like, I think someone said, like,
it's a dream anymore.
It's
slowly starting to become reality.
You could fit all the people in this game, I guarantee, probably could build a house and a property and land on probably one of the moons that have already put in this game at the moment, I reckon, because of the scale. We could all have probably a piece of land on just one moon that's currently in the game, and they're going to have systems.
I hope I'm not living on your street.
You're more than welcome to live on my street. Anyone can live on my street. We'll live on the burbs. We'll have it on the burbs. And just constantly big speakers blowing out as I arrive in my car.
You're like a propaganda machine, man.
Oh, man. It's going to be hilarious, though. The fun.
No, it's not hilarious. It's not
the fun you're going to be able to have. Oh, my days. This was fun. Again, I like the fact that we started to see, so again, NPCs. We saw more in Levski in last year. Nice to see some more. That they're definitely going to have to really fill out the world, obviously, with NPCs. They have to. Whilst we wait.
We saw a lot more in the ArcCore part, obviously.
Yeah.
And a few here.
Yeah.
But I think
they've got to make sense,
because
though.
You've seen the animation on one of the panels. You've seen that they're working on it. I think once that's implemented and they're really happy with it, that will be ported across to these NPCs, because I think a lot of these haven't got that iteration of the animation in yet because it's still in development. But this is sort of, like I said, something we'll probably have to cover in another episode or on a
they're all doing
podcast.
You can see
but the animation panel was amazing. The technology they got of him walking over the boxes. I mean, after all that moaning that we've been talking about, or especially you, in terms of like how they're walking around Grim Hex and clipping into stuff, like they've nailed that, like completely fucking nailed that.
Coming back on what I said earlier with the boring presentation, and Madness says, "Oh, Bram, but they're showing off, and Bram is my real name for the people that know that. Bram, they're just showing off what they've done." When we come to the animation thing in the game world that we're living now, and I think especially the last half year, it's a standard to have that sort of things in anyway. You know what I mean? It's good that they have it in their engine now. You know what I mean? It's nice to see, but for me, didn't need a 45-minute presentation for it. You know what I mean? It's
no, I think you're wrong there. It's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not what's in games now. The games don't have that.
That they said already, though.
No, it's not, because like I said, them things where they're going up steps and that. There's always clipping. There's always that bit where the legs stick in the air. This stuff.
Obviously, they perfected it. Don't get me wrong, but we didn't need 45 minutes of
No, we did. We haven't had fuck all, Saul. But we had burn down. We needed it. I'm not sorry. I completely disagree with you.
No, that's fine. You kind of disagree, but that's.
We had burn down on board. I want to see what they're building. We haven't seen shit in terms of like, studio reports.
Listen, you are the man that was moaning that he wanted to know about the bugs, and then they gave you the bugs, and you were still moaning.
I always moan about stuff like that, but do you know what?
I think sometimes you take for granted how when they show you these animation things off, and you just think, oh yeah, well, you know, that's easy. That other games have done it or whatever, and it's not. It's like,
I'm not saying it's easy, but it's something that interests me less.
Fantastic.
Oh, look at that, the board gamer.
We don't need the Doctor. Sorry,
the Eggman. I think he's here.
We'll bring us up onto the big screen. There we go.
There we go.
As we were talking about the animations, I'm going to bring them up now because they were fantastic.
So, what did you think of the aliens on there though as well? Because we didn't really
talk about
go over that too much, but I thought it was nice to see something at least living and flying on there. Yeah. They did say something about the fact that was like they can be much bigger than that, and these are just meant to be like small versions of them and stuff. So.
Auto watch me, mate. Auto watch me. I left it aside a bit, the alien thing. You know, the language thing. You know, I don't know. Interesting to see. Yeah, you know, where they had these Jan lessons. You know, I'm not
that one. I just left it because that's not something I'm remotely interested in.
That's what I'm saying.
For people that are interested, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's great.
I wasn't very good at school anyway, and listening to other people, so it's. For me, that was like, it's interesting to see how they developed them from the art that I don't know if Jay Lee did it, but that the concept artist did to where they are now with them. It's a big step, though. It's really good to see. Really
this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's hard to like get your head around exactly what it's doing. It's a very subtle thing, but actually what it's doing is amazing.
This is great.
Because he showed us before.
This is automatically just walking up shit. You not telling it to do it, or it's not been programmed to walk up it because it's recognizing it's there. It's then lifting its leg up or over the top. That is just
the next level. Technology. The next level to this is falling on your ass when you're not paying attention. And that's like being real, beyond real, and it won't happen because it's a game. But if if you got to a situation, because at the moment they showed us one where the guy was walking backwards as fast as he was going forwards. The reality is that shouldn't really happen because if I did that, I would be falling on my ass. I'd be constantly having to kind of look. If they were then to start to do that type of thing where you're walking backwards and the character's having to kind of glance back to kind of get his back, because at the end of the day you've got that view, haven't you? So you can kind of get a rough idea and you can kind of feel it, you know, like if you're walking backwards you'd kind of feel it out a bit with your foot to kind of sense. And also the brain's really good at mapping shit out and figuring out where things are. Ask blind people, they can figure out stuff.
Is this the man really moaning about the head bobbing while he was PvPing in the ship? Is this the one? Yeah. Is this the same man? Is this little bit of madness?
I watched this and I just was like, this is all I wanted to see. This is the stuff I've been wanting to see for months now. And I'm just so happy I got to see it at CitizenCon. It was just, it's so beautiful and smooth, and it's seems like such a small thing, but it's such a huge thing to the game to add realism. Going up and down the stairs like that, it's fantastic.
What I was saying earlier, Madness,
you won't see it because you're in a different view, but it's just great.
Listen, I wouldn't have minded seeing this in a 20-minute ATV. You know what I mean?
Well, we will. We're going to see more of this. They're going to bring us.
They'll bring it again. They'll give us 2,200 iterations of it the upcoming couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
You can try as many times as you want, Saul, to try and convert me and by repeating about the time frame. For me, it was absolutely fine. I really enjoyed it. And look, I got to see all the different armor, which was really cool to see the heavy armor, which I'm still not a super huge fan of. If I'm being honest, it's a bit buggy.
It's more of a remake, they said, of the. So what they did with most of the armors was develop them from scratch, and with the new marine stuff, they basically grabbed the old one, used them as old models, and worked from those. So that was interesting to see that way of working. You know what I mean? I think they did a great job with it.
Auto watch me, mate. I do, bored. I do. But it's this. Look at this. The running, like. Because it's doing it slow, and then he's running and doing it. And there's this slow, there's fast, there's backwards, there's forwards, there's over, the's just...
It's the gun, have you checked the gun?
The guns look... That's what I'm saying, the gun's looking great. Look at that, he's just... It's just incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
I can't. And the way he moved, it's just wonderful. I mean, I wonder how much of this is mocap, and how much of this is just the created through a traditional animation, like moving the figures. I'd love to know what the balance is. I imagine a lot of it's mocap with fixing. Mixed with whatever this procedural is, the procedural frame generation stuff that you're talking about, Board. Yeah, I mean, the people that were there, it was stunning. Just like, I'm sorry.
I don't know if you covered it, but like with the head bob thing, like I think there's an element where NPCs, their heads may well look down as they tread over things or whatever. But I think as for the player, it would, like, because you're first person, you wouldn't want your head you wouldn't want to have to keep looking down every time you're walking over stuff. It would just ruin your.
It would ruin the game. It's too
gameplay,
realistic.
Basically.
It's too realistic. It's not needed. I wouldn't do it. You know, sometimes you have to break realism for a computer game, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that's all I was saying. They've got to a point, in my opinion, where you can't get any. You can get better. To say that you can't get better is lie. You can always get better and stuff. But they've gone so good with that. So good.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the ones I missed. But when I watched it
this
back,
is so funny.
It was
the blind guy. Sorry.
just amazing.
The memes. Has anyone seen a meme yet? Because I saw this and I was like, this is your NPC. This is the basic NPC that you get with your turret now. So if you buy the bottom level, this is the guy you get that's going to fly your ship, potentially use your turret for you.
Do a better job than me.
So this is the guy.
Is he blind?
Yes.
He'd do a better job than I would.
This is the guy that's going to help you.
This is a serious question. Is he blind? Is he like a?
They're talking about the way they were talking about the way a blind person like analyzing. This is what I was saying about. This is what I love about these guys is they take real natural real situations like blind people. Like I said, you can, if you were to close your eyes and stuff, and you could map out a space, and your brain can remember where things are and kind of like figuring out shit. It's incredible. And like I don't want to go into it, bore the show. You had 45 minutes of watching it, so you know.
Well, he didn't
watch it. It was 10 minutes of it.
No point going over it.
Not going over it, but it was amazing.
Busy. How did you call it again?
Was there any more?
Networking.
I think
networking with Rifeus.
I agree with it with Nerd though. This is like the technology that CIG is pushing out now is like it's way up front that people are going to want to come and they're going to want to know how to do it or copy it. You know.
Oh, here we go. This was it. This was cool. This was the bit I wanted to see. I'll try and go.
Is it the one he balances on the two rocks?
No, that one was very cool too. But the I don't know. We could be here for hours on this segment alone, and we haven't got that much time. But I just love the way they kind of have they got it here. Sorry, I'm just trying to. The way he kind of walking over and the way they showed you how it kind of the little box that goes around him, like 2 meters, you know, just to kind of figures out the terrain. Thought that was really cool. There is another one. That's
like the blind man type thing. That's what I think. That's what they're trying to say. Yeah, like it analyzes the area around it.
Yeah, there you go.
Walking, and that's how it works out how to put its feet and everything.
This looks good. This looks really good.
So good.
There's one where it's balanced literally on two rocks, which is freaking amazing.
Yeah. Well, because they showed earlier they talked about how, you know, when normally in games, your character, we've all done it, you stand on one edge with the very tiny corner of your character, and then for some reason the whole rest of the body is way floating off. Yeah. I'm curious to know if I'd love them to show us the point where you can break this, because the reality is that's what's going to happen. People are going to try and figure out a way to make your character fall over. So I'd be interested to see them show us the falling over. Did they show it? Does anyone know? Because I didn't see any bits of them actually showing the guy falling over, tripping over, or being pushed to the point where the mechanics, he actually physically falls, because that would be really cool. Really cool to see the guy actually fall over. I'd love that. That would just be the creme de la creme for me.
I don't want to hear your excuses, Rifeus.
That would be the creme de la creme. So yeah, I'm going to try and kind of go to some other highlights from the show. Kind of bring them up if we've got them. What the ones have we got? Let's bring them up. Where are
you? Can do this alone, Mattis, can you?
The art of Stanton. Oh my God, yes. God, yes. Sorry, just briefly. I'm sorry. I could do this whole thing alone for sure. Don't worry about it, dude. So we go back. So the art of Stanton. So this was great. I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely love the concept artworks for me, because it just sets the tone. Absolutely sets the tone for the planets. And it It was incredible. I mean, such a good highlight.
But we will do ice soon. So again,
bring
this
the music,
part, it's about...
I didn't like the shirts though. The wet t-shirts, I don't know what you guys thought, but these shirts, unless you are Ronaldo's body, this material and this color and the way that it makes you wet ain't a good look. I'm sorry. It doesn't go. I thoroughly do not recommend them. I don't know if they sold these guys to you guys, but trust me, it makes every ugly part of your body. It's not a good look. I'm sorry. He's a smart choice. Not good.
Are you on about their t-shirts?
Yeah. Hang on.
Oh, madness. Who cares what kind of sweaty t-shirts they're wearing?
No, it's important. Look. It's just not good.
Yeah, the one on the left there said to Chris Roberts, I'm not wearing that.
He's like, I'm not fucking wearing that. It doesn't make you look good. It just gives you you look like you got your winter body basically.
Imagine Disco Lando in that shirt.
Yeah, it's not a good look. But anyway, and it's not good. Don't sell that shirt. I thoroughly don't recommend anyone buying that shirt in that colorway, in that material ever. Moving on. So engineering, environmental process, the early days of the ecosystem. This was fantastic. This is wicked. I'm excited about this. I want to see like tremors, snow fucking storms. The way they build up. Tremors, like earthquakes.
Oh, tremors.
Natural, the environmental process. The way that they build up the ecosystems and the way that they have different ecosystems within, because the plants are so fucking big, and the process that they talked about. I'll turn the music up a bit, but it was just mind blowing. Again, mind was blown.
Just iterated on how we blend the textures together.
I know.
I have never made a game, and I know that most games do not make games like these guys make games.
Listen, Stankira, me and Miss got out of our seats, and this is what you got spraying about the t-shirts that they're wearing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the t-shirts.
Cotton, yeah.
You need to moan about something today. Let it be the t-shirts today, and not cockpits. And
who the heck is looking at the t-shirts? Hey, it's just the way I look at stuff.
Had like a 2x2 meter square.
It's
Threw it down somewhere.
It was because the first thing I saw when they first came on, literally, because I just see them. The first thing I see is them, and then the rest was the presentation. But I was like, bad choice, lads.
You're not moaning if you see Cristiano Ronaldo in such a shirt.
Bad choice, lads.
Can you get that mouse away from me?
We can't go to that detail yet, so we've got to think about like this global. And then when you saw like those slides, which
I'm just saying, don't buy them, boys. You're not going to look pretty.
Listen, just buy whatever you want to buy.
No. Unless you have Ronaldo's body, don't buy those.
And then eventually, you just get like these breakthrough moments.
I don't want to generalize the community, but I think most of the Star Citizen definitely do not look like Cristiano Ronaldo, and that's including myself.
Last year, the start of last year's Homestead.
I'm more kind of Ronaldo, like I said, the boxer out of shape.
Yeah. Your head is way too big for it to be Ronaldo.
Yeah, we haven't seen much variety. Well, we
yes!
have quite a variety of rocks on our
This was good to see.
You can even get your ego out of the hallway where the football players come out.
It was so good to see the rocks. I don't know about you guys.
I like to plant. We've seen enough rocks, but I like the plants that you saw before, the cacti and
all the foliage.
The foliage. That's something that really they look a bit like something. These rocks.
I'm gonna whiz on a bit.
Set it up so we can swap out material.
These were very dirty rocks, I'll tell you that.
So this video shows a quick
that was amazing. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to show.
I have the body of a god, Ripheus Buddha.
Was there any highlights within the environmental process, like a time stamp that you guys want to kind of like give us a shout to?
No, just put us on the other tree screen and zip through it and bring it up again.
Because I don't think.
How do you feel about it, Miss? What do you think?
There was so much.
Totally agree.
There was totally agrees. There was like I'm just.
So, Miss, you get up. Yeah. 2 minutes later, I get up. I walk into the kitchen and I can still hear the stream. And you know what he's moaning about? The T-shirts that the guys were wearing at the CIG guys. So
he's moving past the T-shirt. I'm moving past the T-shirts.
Complaining about the material of the T-shirts.
Trust me, it was that fucking nut in there. That was the best material to be using.
Well, that. Sorry. Natural cotton, breathable, and it keeps shape. Look at this thing. Honestly, it's not good. This is like
Star Trek.
It's not a good material. If you've not got the body for it, it's not a good material. It's a wet look. Not good.
Do you think these shoes they make in Vietnam for £2 that is natural breeding material?
I'll tell you what. When you make shoes, you can come and comment on what I do for a living, and when I do what you do, I'll comment on what you do for a living. How's that sound, Sol? Otherwise, for now, keep
that's
this.
what happens. You leave Madness alone for 2 minutes, and that's it. You'll find something to discuss.
You'll find something to discuss. Yeah.
Keep this zipped.
Now he's angry that I mention it.
I love the fact that they build the material. This is again, we're talking about tools, like Miz was saying.
Talking about the materials again.
It's just like what Miz, like this is what you were talking about in terms of like for your Miz bot and everything. You know, it's all about building those
like
tools.
Substance painter type thing.
It's all about building those tools. And what they're talking about, you know, like at the end of the day, it's such a scale. Again, we were talking about the scale. You can't do the minutiae details. You know what I mean? You have to think bigger and then kind of make that work and how it seamlessly kind of integrates and stuff. They talk about it in here. It was fantastic watch. Thoroughly recommend watching it. We can't go over it all. I'm just going to move on to the graphics, dude. Let's just see if there was anything in here. Let's go. Oh, this was the one I think that everyone. This is the one, Saul, that you were struggling with.
Which one is that?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. This is the solar guy that looks a little bit like Mac. This one. Again, this was stunning. Again, a great presentation to show how they, all the layering. And this is your graphic processor. This is your, is it CPU or graphic? I think it was a GPU or the CPU.
Oh,
all the shit it has to do in a second. The graphics to try and, the graphics. And the tech engine. It's mind-blowing.
It is cool to see, but it's not of my interest. Just not of my interest. And other people love that. You know, don't get me wrong. I just doing basic 3D. You know, you talk about all your different maps, your bump maps, your normal maps, all the rest of it. And then these guys have about
so many
17
maps,
other maps that I've never even heard of before, and I was just like, holy shit.
Oh,
there you go. This is Mac. He looked a bit like Mac's brother.
You think?
Yeah. He had a little bit of a Mac look about him.
He has a bit more chin than Mac has.
So it was talking about like he look, poor guy. Everyone else had multiple people. And he had to do a 50-minute presentation on what was quite a tricky, quite a dry topic of conversation. He did a fantastic. Alistair, great job, mate.
Madness. Alistair, they probably tried this out before in the office. Great job. And Alistair couldn't stop talking, so they said to Alistair, you know what you do? You do it fucking alone.
Well, maybe. But, I mean, he did a great job kind of breaking it down. It was a bit dry, so I'm just kind of whizzing on. I'm just going to go to the bit that I thought was pretty sweet. We got to see...
The lighting, yeah, that's good looking.
You got to see Mr. Hamill. Just showing you all the lighting, because obviously I think we've seen a little bit of the way they're lighting up inside the helmets and stuff, which I think is really important. So stunning. I mean, this is zero. That's zero on the face, which looks absolutely incredible.
Space football.
Yeah, filmic tone mapping curves. It blew my mind. Honestly, most of this went over my head, and I imagine it went over most of the audience's head. But for the small number of people that are really interested, and I was genuinely interested in it. It was really cool. And again, this is the cockpit. So this is the conversation. Physically based glass shader. And it brings up another topic of taking damage. So what do you guys think of the new...
I'm not discussing cockpits with you.
Of the new cockpit.
It looks really good.
The way it distorts. I think it's wonderful.
It's just, everything they've shown, it was just... The level of detail has never been a drawback in Star Citizen. It's just phenomenal. They nail it every time, and when you think it can't get any better, they come along with something else and make it.
They needed to as well. I think they needed these improvements as soon as they brought planets in with different kind of lighting, that sort of things. They really needed it. I think it looks super sexy.
I would like them to show us some anti-glare technology on these cockpits. I'm being genuinely. I'd like them to show. I mean, this is all looking beautiful, but I would definitely like them to show some tinting options, potentially ability to kind of like, it is the future at the end of the day. And I have seen, Blade Runner and Sunshine, where you can tell the computer to tint the glass. And I've been on a Boeing aeroplane where the window, if you touch the window, it changes from blue like a dark blue to a light blue, and it will actually go black out the whole window, so the sun is blocked out, and you just by touching the screen on the side. So the glass, or that's just like no more having to pull down the thing. You press a button and it dims the glass on the aeroplane. So, and that's now, and this is the future. I mean, come on, that really should be in there. Oh yeah, this was amazing. The physical base glass. Look at this. That was so cool with like the cracks and stuff on the. I was thinking that is fantastic for taking damage internally to cockpits, and maybe if you get shot.
How my screens are going to look most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. But why won't it start?
Another fucking dropped iPhone.
God, yeah. So yeah, I was really impressed with all the physical based crap. Again, like I said, you know, a lot of people got bored and they maybe missed all this stuff, and that's fine. It's for other people to pick up, I guess, and show them. But it was a wonderful presentation, as all of the presentations were. I really like the new format. I know they were asking about it, and you get multiple thumbs up from me. It was fantastic. And then we've got the final thing, which I'm going to bring up. Art stance and the map. I'm going to bring up the consolidated Pioneer, the video, and we're going to listen to the whole thing. This was great to see an old school. We haven't had a really great advertisement. We've had several advertisements, but this really harked back to the advertisements, the old school ones that we had. So I'm just going to bring it bad boy up. Oh no, this is them talking about the Pioneer. Sorry, apologies. I'm going to bring up the video in a second for the Pioneer. This was just them discussing the Pioneer, which we've already talked about. But I'm going to bring up the video for the Pioneer. So give me 2 seconds. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, Ms. And for like 30 seconds whilst I find it. 1, 2.
Did you buy the Pioneer?
3. Oh, did I buy the Pioneer? Actually, did anyone in chat? Has anyone bought the Pioneer? If you have, just say yes.
Who's bought the Pioneer?
I think Uber Nerd, you have a Pioneer, don't you? From what I understand, I remember somebody was like giving you the big congratulations and stuff on your stream.
With
I think he
the
bought it
30-second
live.
delay, he'll answer just in time for Madness to get the video up.
Sorry, I've got the video. I'll wait for his response. Wait for other people to chat about it, to say they got it. Congratulations. Perfect for your org. I think it's if your org, like, I wouldn't be surprised if like the Red Panda org and stuff. You know, if you are a industrial based org, it makes complete sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's the right type of ship. You know, the Orion.
Anyone that wants to send me one, I'll give you. Send me a PM on the Discord, and I'll give you the email where you can.
It makes total sense. I would love to see a pirate version of it.
Pirate version.
Yeah, I'd like to see a filthy version, a dirty one. You know, maybe it's not as good, but it's been adapted, stolen.
Dirty is the topic of the day, is it?
Here's the topic. You know, I would like to see. I'd love to see a pirate version, because at the end of the day, pirates want to build bases.
Mattresses everywhere. You know.
But pirates aren't a different species. They can use normal people's buildings. It's like, oh, it can't have it unless it's got a pirate flag on the side of it.
Madness is going to have a ship.
The outpost must have painted pirate skulls on it, or I can't possibly count it as one of my outposts.
Miss Madness is going to get a ship. It has a pedestal when you get in with a big bowl, and everyone has to throw their car keys in it.
If I'm a pirate, it's got to have
everyone
like
has
gold
to throw their car
or
keys in it, and that's when the party starts, basically.
It's got to have
Fucking
cheesy
worst
gold,
pirates
skulls.
ever. They just literally advertise themselves on everything they do.
I mean, I'm going to be like the A-Team with the black van with the big red stripe down, and everyone's just like full 80s. You know, like no one can figure out. Can you find these people? They're driving around in a black van with a great big red stripe up the side of them. Can you seriously tell me you can't find them? No,
James Bond with like a secret spy badge blinking on his fucking suit as he goes along. Oh yes, I've got the customary
pirate. Run the pirate flag up. But hey, that was old school. You know, you had to let everybody know you were a pirate. You know, you'd run the flag up, and you know everyone was a bit crazy. I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. But I like the idea of not. It doesn't have to be the same design. Actually, I mean, it could be literally a different ship.
But even pirate ships, in the sailing method that you was on about, they hid their flag unless they wanted to actually go and capture someone. It wasn't on display all the time.
Oh, mine was on display. It's always on display, man. There it is. Come and get me.
But that's
along with your name tag.
What Miss says is obviously correct. The most stupid pirate is the one with the flag constantly out. So I think it's good to have different color variations, man. But I wouldn't say we necessarily need a normal human one and a pirate one. That's bullshit. You could have different color combinations.
They
you
already
can
did
say
it
black
with
and red.
They did it with a caterpillar.
Yeah, but that I think is the stupidest thing to do. You know what I mean? That I think is the dumbest thing you can do. It's like someone's going to rob a bank and he's already driving guns blazing towards the bank. Yeah, we're gonna rob the fucking bank. No, you're. Yeah, for in your universe.
I do. I just disagree. I just think it's great.
Let's play this advert.
But we don't need it now. But it's something I would love. I can't wait for them to do
different
more.
Color
like a smaller version of that
different
shit.
Color
a smaller, maybe not necessarily. It doesn't have to be a pirate one, but it would be nice to have a smaller one that does smaller pioneering stuff. A little people one would be nice.
Little one.
Maybe that could be the a little like the Zoolander style. What the hell is this? It's supposed to be at least 300 times bigger than this.
It's like the Mustang. You have to crawl to get in it.
Robbing a house with a stripy top. You know what I'm.
Here we go, guys. All right, we're going to bring up this video, and then we'll have a look at some questions. We're going to go through some questions.
I think Madness has played a lot of Sims.
We're going to go. We did this. I'm excited about this, so let's just bust this video because I'm not joking. Last CitizenCon, I shed a tear when I saw the procedural planets, and this actually, I brought a tear to my eye again. This was wonderful. It may bring another tear to my eye. I'm welling up already. The hands and the face texturing weren't great, but the lip was amazing. The eyes needed to blink, and the voice was great.
Shut up, I'm listening to the video, man.
Stars. They've become such a familiar backdrop of our day-to-day life that it's easy to forget what they mean. That one. That little dot right there. That's Bremen. And this one over here, that's Saul. Think about that. Just a handful of these dots represents the breadth of human expansion. Another handful, and you've got Banner, Jean, even Vandul systems. That's everything we've ever known. Every piece of art, every life, ever, right there. In 2 handfuls of dots. Now that means there's so much more to find. Behind every one of those points of light is a story waiting to be discovered. Now in our distant past, it was the province of governments to explore and understand space. The simple launch took resources and money beyond the capacity of even the largest companies. But then RSI introduced the Zeus, and suddenly regular people were able to explore our solar system, allowing an unprecedented amount of knowledge to be discovered. When Nick Croshaw discovered the first jump point, the modified scanner array that allowed him to search for jump points were far too expensive for the civilian market. But once that technology was refined and open to the public, what happened? That's right, an era of expansion that led us from this to this. And that's how it's always been. If you look at all the great eras of human history, whenever innovation has put technology in the hands of the people, it has heralded sweeping discoveries. Because power in the hands of many will always exceed the power of few. So while we can now discover new jump points and systems, there's still one hurdle that remains. That's what to do once you discover a new planet. Because right now, only the largest corporations can terraform and establish settlements. Easy. We haven't simplified terraforming yet. No, I'm here to announce something equally exciting. Albert Einstein, the man who redefined human understanding of the universe, he once said, "The person who follows the crowd will usually go no further than the crowd. The person who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever seen before." An insightful sentiment meant to inspire thinkers and creators to push the boundaries of their understanding. It was, after all, said 1,000 years ago, before humanity had left our homeworld. So clearly he was speaking metaphorically. Today, as I just showed you, the unknown is out there, waiting to be discovered. For those that are looking for those places that no one has seen before, they are faced with a daunting challenge. What do you do when you get there? Up until now, it's been the province of governments and corporations to pave the way for sustained habitation. The power has been in the hands of the few. What if I offered you the ability to build your own settlement? To bring civilization to the most untamed of frontiers? A colony ship in the truest sense of the word. And I'm not talking about just transporting people, no. I'm talking about an all-in-one solution designed to build modular structures based on your needs. Capable of building a farm or a habitat, a trading post or a mining operation. I mean, that'd be crazy, right? Allow me to introduce the Pioneer. With that, let the new age of colonization begin.
Can we talk?
Looks like a giant 3D printer.
Wow. I mean, that was... When I watched that, like I said, it honestly legitimately brought a tear to my eye. It was superb. Just superb. Oh, just...
That's it.
That's it. That was... And that's... I'm literally like... see you guys, and we'll see you next week. No, we'll briefly just see if there's any questions. I think somebody mentioned there's something in Discord which I'm going to kind of try and just quickly grab now, and we'll just do a quick roundup. We'll have a little take some questions. So feel free to ask any questions or any comments or anything you just want to talk about Star Citizen related. If you want to talk about BritainCon, if you want to talk about CitizenCon, if you want to talk about anything, just chuck it in chat, and we can maybe discuss.
Can we talk about cheese?
We talk about cheese, whatever you want, man. If it's related to Star Citizen, for sure. Will we get cheese on the game?
You guys, like, that wasn't there. Did you catch any of the VerseCon stuff?
I don't know. It's just good to can I mention what we discussed the other day, Manus? Are you alright with that?
With regards to the fact that I struggled.
There wasn't
to find
a lot to find. Yeah,
we
really struggled to find anything except Paul doing the
Twitter seemed to be the best solution to find it. Yeah, there was Paul did a captain's thing, but of course the problem for me was the time zone, obviously, because they're so far on the other side of the world. You know, I'm in bed. I was in bed, I think, when they were doing certain things. I kept up through Twitter, lots of likes, lots of follows. It looked like it was a good fun event. It felt like it was the same thing that happened for BritainCon last year. It was the first event, people kind of sizing it up. They went big. They did a great job, I think. And next year, I'm sure it will be even bigger again.
I think he was streaming. What's his name? Clifford, aka Miku. But he streams on Mixer, and I avoid that like a dirty rash.
Arctic Games, we can talk about the new Mustang, yeah, for sure.
So I'm not a Mixer guy, so maybe I missed it because of I'm not on that platform at all.
I can bring.
I imagine streamed to both, to be honest.
Yeah, did he stream to both?
Probably. They did have a Twitch VerseCon channel.
I missed it. I think it's what Madness says for us.
Questions.
For us, when Paul normally streams is around 4 a.m. for me. So
yeah, it could have just been time zones.
Could have just been missing it.
I think that was my biggest. I genuinely, that was my only thing. It felt like there was a vodcast might have been nice. I didn't see any vodcasts, so like someone just showing an old video for the people would have been cool. Like I didn't.
I think that'll go up. I think they're going to edit stuff and put stuff
cool.
up. So.
Like a YouTube video. I'm sure we can catch up on polls. I'll watch it back as soon as I can. But I didn't catch as much as I would have liked to have seen, if I'm being honest. But again, it could be just the time zone, unfortunately.
Definitely.
So somebody, where was it?
Got some questions.
Discord. Somebody, where was this Discord thing?
Can the person that put that in Discord?
I think there might have just been on about an interview with Erin and Chris Roberts, which we haven't seen, or I haven't seen, and so we can't really watch that now.
Yeah, we can't comment on it. But if it's great, what we'll be discussing as a team, something, I mean, we'll talk about it. We'll wait and see if it comes into fruition. But we're discussing about doing additional YouTube off-stream videos where we discuss things, and we'll put them exclusively onto YouTube as well. Because we do a lot of work, and some of the things just don't get onto the podcast. Because I mean, it sounds silly. We do a 3-hour stream, and we still have. I talk too much, but generally we still have lots of stuff that a lot of us do a lot of work on that doesn't even get on the show and then just gets thrown away. And
well, we showed it a bit on Sunday.
We showed a little bit of it, and there was a load of stuff. We haven't even covered ATV.
In this 4-hour podcast, I think altogether goes about 9 hours of work from 3 hours per person almost. Yeah. So depending on the week, obviously, but in general, and I think if you guys could see our doc, I think 40% of that doc.
So
does not get mentioned, you know what I mean?
We're going to try and do some other things going forward. So watch this space. We'll
definitely.
We can't do too much. But we'll try and add some other things. Yeah, and if you want to ask us questions, chuck it in the questions. Just let me know. Make sure that questions is open to receive questions, and I'll let Ms. read out the question. Ms. or Saul, you guys can read out the questions. It's fine. Go ahead. Whoever wants to take over. Ms. You go for it. Yeah, go for it. Let's start the.
When is 3.0 out?
Yeah. The first one is Headclot, and he says, "Does this mean we will be getting our hands on the mod tools sooner than later?" I think it's probably because he asked that when we were doing we were showing off we was talking about the tool sets, and that wasn't me basically.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't hope that early. I think they should wait with those things till the game is a bit further developed than it is now. You know what I mean?
Things have changed a lot since the original as well, so I'm not even sure how close we are to getting it.
Things will still change before. Let's all be honest. You know what I mean? Chris
may not even choose to open this up
more than I change fucking underwear. You know what I mean? So, before the time that the full game comes out, things have changed again. So then people have been making mods maybe in the concept as the game is now, and things will change. You know.
For me, my thing is how many other games out there does the modding community get access to the mods before the game is like even into beta or finished? You know what I mean? I'm curious. I don't know enough about the modding community to be able to give you a fully kind of honest thing. I can just if someone was able to tell me to say, hey guys, here's every game that's a mod that engages with the modded community, gives you mods before the game is even finished. Because I'm thinking of things like Fallout is the only kind of like mod game that I've ever played where it's like the game's finished and then the mods, then they're able to then do all the modding afterwards. So for me it would be, we won't get it any earlier than the game's finished, in my opinion. But I mean, that's just, I don't know enough about the modding community. So.
I think we'll get it anyway.
You'll get it. I just think it will be a lot later, unfortunately.
We don't know.
Okay, next question is from Guest, and they say, give one personal expectation from this CitizenCon 2017 that you were disappointed that CRG did not show in the presentation.
More ships.
The mechanics for me still. I'm still very hot on.
We talked about it earlier, and I think we just want to see some actual mechanics working. I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see mining, doing stuff. I'd like to see the Reclaimer actually grinding up and doing shit with ships. I'd like to see, more of the actual, flying over the city. Like I said before, is visually stunning, cinematic. It's beautiful, and I'm not by any means. It doesn't make me bad at all. I love that. Fantastic. I'm really excited. But yeah, I mean, if there's anything I'd like to see more of for sure is mechanics.
Well, mechanics. I said it to you on Friday, Madness, and I said, I had something in my stomach that said I'm going to see a Carrack or I'm going to see a ship that they really hadn't talked about for a long time, but that would have been in. Remember that we had that pipeline of ships a while back with all the dates in them, which obviously they did not keep to that. But I was hoping that they came with a surprise ship where they said, we haven't talked about it a lot lately, but here it is. And that's something that I would have expected. Maybe a Carrack, maybe the Mythic Freelancer variants or something like that. You know what I mean?
The carrot's
I
only
would
a white
have
box,
expected
so
a small. Yeah.
it's
I
not a
would
white
have
box, though.
expected a tip of the. How do you say this? You know, a little bit of a reveal of whatever.
Just the tip.
Yeah.
A little reveal of whatever. So you're completely vague on me, buddy. What are you saying?
No,
He's just saying he wanted to see a different ship, like a
I want
ship.
to see another ship.
I
Okay,
That's
so
what
the
he's saying.
Sabre.
He was hoping to see something else.
We saw the Sabre. They gave us a sneaky peek with the Mustang the new Mustang kind of rework.
But that's again a new ship.
Banu Merchantman. Would you like to have seen a new version of the Banu?
But that one wasn't originally planned for.
I'd like to see the
quarter
rework.
one of 2018. But I think if you look at that, and I looked at it on Sunday evening, and this original line that we had of all the ships where they said, oh, this ship we're going to do in July, this ship we're going to do in August, this ship we're going to do in September, you know, or this ship has this time span, this time. I haven't really seen any of those ships yet at all, you know.
Okay.
The Prospector, we've seen the Prospector, you know what I mean? That's the only one of those ones. And the Terrapin, but for the rest of it, we haven't seen really...
We've seen quite a lot of ships, dude.
More anticipated ones, I think.
We've seen a lot of ships. If I was to there's a lot of ships we've seen this year.
We've seen a lot of new ships, Madness. Well, we haven't seen a lot of the older ships.
But there's not, like we said, I don't think there's that many left to see the old ships.
There is.
Anyway,
we'll move on. We'll move on. We'll move on.
So are you following the game?
Actually, just briefly, I was going to say Squadron 42. Not something I was disappointed actually not to see. It sounds ridiculous. I know most people would still see it. I genuinely don't want to see much more than trailers only for Squadron 42. I know other people do. I don't. I really want to just get the game and enjoy it. I don't want to actually know too much about it. Just a couple of trailers, maybe a gameplay video when the game is about to be released beforehand or something, and then I just want to play it and just enjoy it. I don't want to. I don't want to be drip fed it. We said it before. I don't want to be drip fed. Squadron 42. I really just want to get.
Don't watch the holiday live stream then.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm nervous for it because I'm like, well, Squadron 42 is supposed to be really. I mean, Andy Serkis kind of sneaked out saying that it would be 2018 when we would get Squadron 42. So
don't listen to Andy Serkis.
I'm hoping it.
What does he know unless he's sitting there in development with Chris Roberts?
What does he know? What does he know? But he will have just known that's probably the date that they're aiming for.
Exactly.
They
were aiming for 2017, 2016. Yeah, don't worry about that.
I know, but I'm just like I don't want to know too much.
I know. The next question was from Mr. 2D Muldoon, and he says, "Do you think they should sell city apartment only game packages?"
I would buy it.
I would say they should sell city apartment packages with an 85X, some sort of like vehicle that you can fly around the city with that can't go out of the orbit, but is just for flying around the city for planet only. Just that would be a cool package, I think.
I would buy it even if it was just ours.
They could. I definitely want them to sell apartments in the game. If I'm being honest, it sounds silly, but I actually would love them to sell apartments. Build buildings, so you could buy buildings now. So you're no longer just buying spaceships. You're actually buying physical buildings. Would be awesome. Like you could buy penthouses. You could buy luxury. I'd love to be able to buy. Like one of these beautiful buildings where you have like a beach house and you can have your 900 whatever it is 890 jump could be parked outside and you've got this amazing beach house or this kind of drug baron house, this overlooking thing. It's going to cost you $200 or whatever to buy, or $1,000 to buy. It would generate them a shed load more revenue going forward. I don't think.
But I still can't see them selling it as a game package.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You could. Why not? I mean,
because if someone buys it, not really, it makes the whole. Well, we've already moaned about the website, and
it's got to come with a ship. It's got to come with a basic ship.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's not going to be just an apartment-only package, is it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Package
it's
in
just apartment package,
only. Yeah, but not just apartment only, because I think everything's going to need a ship. Yeah. Just because, like, it just makes the whole web page more complicated. If someone buys the wrong one, then it's all, they've got to then chase up people putting tickets in saying, well, why haven't I got a ship? And I don't know. I just don't think it'll do that.
Yeah, exactly, Carlos.
Seems a little bit pointless.
I think for the future, it's definitely something for the future. I would love them to implement, like with hangars now. You could potentially buy a ship now and you get an apartment rather than just a hangar. Would be kind of cool, like way of doing it. So now with certain ships that you buy, you get an apartment to go with them. They'll be kind of cool. So some of these city-only ships, maybe a new 85X or something, you buy it and you get an apartment with it rather than a hangar. I don't know, might be kind of a cool way to do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe that's what apartment. Maybe that's what hangars will become in the end. Apartments. I don't know. I'm curious to see what the whole stuff with hangars is going to be.
Yeah, that would be cool. Having your own little hangar.
Let's first get ships for inner fucking hangars that are flyable.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I mean, this is a bit further on. Next stuff.
No, that was the questions.
Oh, that was the questions. Fantastic. Does anyone have any other questions before?
All right, everyone. We wish you a very good evening, and we'll see you next time in the verse.
If anyone wants to brackets a question, we've got another 5. We'll give you 5 minutes if anyone wants to ask anything. Otherwise, we will end the stream and we'll end it. So
don't give them 5 minutes. As for the Banu Merchantman, like we've said it before, they decide the order they want to work on ships, and they've got reasons for doing the order they want to do it. And part of the reason the Banu Merchant hasn't been touched is because they just haven't got anywhere near fleshing out the whole race and everything else yet. And you can't just build a ship when you've got no.
It wasn't planned up until Q1 2018 anyway. You know what I mean?
Look at the Vandal. Is the way I look at this description is look at how the Vandal, they've reworked the Vandal ships now, and they're having to go back again to we said this before, you've got to go back again to the glaives, you've got to go back again to all the scythes and everything to rework all of the ships again to fit with the new styling that they like, because they look really dated now, the ships, the Vandal ships, so the glaive and the scythe.
And I think that's what we're just going to get, just more of that.
So you don't want to do the ships first. I think they need to, I agree completely with Miz, flesh out the whole thing first, everything, and then go from there. Because I honestly think even the 890 jump will probably get a rework as well. It sounds silly, but I do think it'll get a bit of a rework to top, because the 600 is such a different look. It really is. The 890 is going to need a rework, I think, to fall in line, as they're reworking all the 300 series as well, right? So
they're reworking everything because of the 2.0 system, so everything's getting some form of rework. Some will be more major than others, some will be less.
We talked about it before. Board Game has been on and spoke about it with us as well. We're going to be having many more iterations, I'm sure, as stuff goes along. So
when's the Hurricane coming out? I don't
know. Isn't it coming out for 3.0?
No, not the Hurricane.
Are you sure? I thought it was 3.0.
They've only just sold it as concept, haven't they?
I thought it was finished.
The Hurricane?
Yeah. Isn't it finished? Selling Tumbleweed. Yeah, it's finished. I'm sure it's finished, the Hurricane, because I was chatting with...
Can fly it.
I was chatting with a load of the guys, and they were saying to us that the Hurricane was... Either that or it's 3.1, because it's super. No, it's not finished. Okay, I thought it was finished.
Can we fly it?
Someone was telling me how they were so excited about it, because it's got the obviously got the 4 size 3s on the turret, and it's got 2 size 4s on the nose. So they were saying how they were super excited for it. So maybe I'm just there's so many ships. I'll have to double check it. But I was pretty...
The problem is with all these ships is
I thought, is it 3.1?
As long as we can't fly it. They're not fucking finished. Cutlass red, cutlass blue, all these variants. Nothing is flyable, so nothing is finished.
I thought it was one of those ones they'd managed to do really quickly. And because 3.0, because you forget the reality is people forget 3.0 has taken so long. A lot of these ships that weren't originally going to be in could I think it might have been a case of it could potentially be in, actually, now I think about it, because it could have been it was not on the timeline, but it was because 3.0 has got closer and closer and closer into longer and longer and longer, that there's been question marks. But I guess it's probably still been feature locked out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a fucking honor.
What's that the question? What is the next big feature you'd like to see after 3.0 come out? What's your favourite ship? Each of you. Oh, okay. Go. We know what yours is, Saul, but you go for it. What's your favourite ship?
Banu Merchantman.
Madness.
At the moment, my favourite ship is the Sabre.
And mine, I don't know, because I had one and it's changed a bit now, so I don't know. It was the Freelancer. But
you are looking at the Pioneer, are you? Or the Raven? I mean, the Raven. Sorry.
No, not really. Not as my favourite ship. I said the Bangstang. I'm still waiting for my Winnie Baker. So
he's waiting for that. I'm waiting for the Carrick to see, because that could be my new love. It could be the Carrick. So, I'm going to enjoy the Aquila when it comes out in 3.0, but
I might change my mind after I'm going to spend money on this year's university sale if the money is available.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly what Poodle just said.
So, next big feature, mine or any of the mechanics again.
Netcode, mining, salvaging, all the mechanic stuff. Really, I mean, we need gameplay. We need gameplay that we can do over and over again. That's going to keep us going backwards. And also, for me, the ability to. The next great one would be the ability to buy ships in the game with EU.
Yes, actually, that would probably be it. The drop-in of being able to earn credits in game and buy ships.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, definitely, that's a good point. And finally, the Cutlass Red will be going up along with any of the other Cutlasses. Basically, the ships got bigger, and I think pretty much what Jared said was the last time to buy it before it goes up. So we don't know by how much, but when 3.0 drops, they are supposed to be all going up.
Where's Sherman been today? He's not been there to fight the things that we said today.
He's taken.
I missed him.
I really missed him. He's taken the day off. I would say anywhere up to $50 could go up. Could be even $100. I think I watched somebody was. I think it was Twerk was saying. He was talking about $200. So it's like currently $100. $200 is a huge increase of price. I think personally, a safe bet would be. I was going to say a safe bet would be anywhere between $20 to $50. I would say.
If it goes up by 200, and anybody that's buying it now would be fucking minted.
Goes up 100. Yeah, I would admit that's why I've banked on it going up at least. The way I look at it is like anywhere. I was thinking like the variants. The variants of the stuff are like usually $10 more, and so I was like, well, if that's a variant of a ship and that's got nothing but skin to it, and this is a big overhaul in terms of redesign, size, scale, I think $50. I think $150 to $100. Yeah, $150 plus maybe. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll round it
more
up
better because I've got a spare one.
Yeah, I've got it ready to CC you up, so the better, the more money it's worth for me. So
exactly, I'm the same.
Yeah, let's wrap it up then, folks.
All right, guys. Let me see who's streaming. Anyone got any suggestions? Who we'd like us to host? Who did we host last week? We rested Red Lair, didn't we? Last time?
Yeah. And we got Moon. We got Dr. Drones. We got Crucian.
We got Dr. Drones.
Captain Richards.
We've got someone called Toddy Bears.
Mad Roboto.
Time to get back on Twitch. He's not Mad Roboto. We could throw it to Mad.
Yeah, Mad Roboto. Let's do Mad Roboto.
Let's throw it to Mad. We've done drones before. Let's haven't done Mad. Let's give it to Mad. Okay, I'm going to throw it over to Mad. So, give it like a addicted share. Do we have a raid thing set up? Does anyone want to?
Normally, Tingy is the one throwing that out. Nexus.
Oh, he's not here today, though, is he? Bless him. I think he's slacking. Oof. We have to have words. We will have to have words. Thank you so much, by the way, guys. Thank you for everyone that's come and hang out with us today, this evening. Really appreciate it. I know, guys, you've probably been hanging out with gazillions of other people talking about this stuff, so it's really great you guys come and hang out with us. Hear our little opinions, our humble opinions on stuff. It's great fun. We really enjoy doing this show. And I am going to try. I haven't got time. Just say addicted, guys, and we'll all say hello.
Addicted raid, whatever you want to spend.
Yeah,
and
go ahead and do it.
Send our love. Thanks.
Send our love, guys. Peace out, boys. Have a great evening.
Take care. Good night.
Bye. Good stuff, boys.
There we go.
Tools, extensions, outputs.